as one. Through fate untamed, their deeds ain't done. Through flames of Brimskarda's wrath, they carve a wild and winding path. If she wins, the kegs run dry. No more ale, the gods will cry. Save our ale, save our brew. Live and fight for whiskey, mead and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Forgotten or withdrew. Perilous weaver, sparks ignite. Spinning spells of arcane might. Nalin calls the roots to rise. Swarm of insects, bark-bound guys. Alistair calls the shadows deep. Eldritch whispers, dark and steep. Vena's gun rings, sharp and bright. Metal hands deal death with might. Save our ale, save our brew. If we fight for whiskey, mead and stew.
Alrighty, it is time. Our mighty heroes taking care of the vial, Bryn Skarda, and all that comes with her, as well as freeing the Vergaiden to hit the mighty skies, causing the volcano to not be one at all, acid turning to ale and flowing out, creating rivers that are reshaping the outlands as we speak, flowing mightily. As our brave heroes made their way down to Wanderhome, which the rivers have not hurt, as it seems. You can already see emergency barriers of force and magic have been put up. And now, putting it between the two alcoholic rivers. And as you enter, there are already projects and machines buzzing around in a strange place. The major population here, as a reminder, is all that of constructs, of people of metal and such things. Very few fleshies seem to be here, if at all. And they eagerly are making many a object that runs on alcohol as its primary power source, seeing what they can do to make a very strange version of hydroelectric energy, taking the explosive properties of this high proof alcohol as well. It is to that you are able to approach the table in which you wanted to return the wand, as they are very excited. As they go, "You've unlocked the secrets!" They go, "All of our conjectures are wrong. No one thought that its primary purpose was to produce liquor."
The wand indeed produced a fine liquor, and as you can see just outside your door, it produced a substantial quantity, so be very careful with it from now on.
Oh, according to a lot of data, I'm glad it got used, and they take it, they go, "Ooh. Warning, might cause drowning of elephants." Okay, something we need to put in there. To begin looking at the data that is recovered from it. And it seems like they've got data from the other one that you had. He goes, "Oh, looks like you've got an illegal prototype. That's okay, we'll let that one slide." Anything else? Right, well, thank you. He goes to leave.
Above table, I'm not sure what to say. I wasn't here for the mission getting part. But I also think PW is the best person ahead of this.
Well, Alistair, did you need any new spells? Perhaps these folks might have line up new spells.
I'm fine.
Well, all right I guess we'll head back to the castle. No, Nix, you haven't even seen the castle yet. It's very large, has legs, doesn't fly at all.
It's a castle with legs.
Yes, it's harder to walk around if you don't have legs.
Yeah, castles don't usually walk around. Should be interesting.
I mean, that's, probably lazy castles, truly. Gotta get a castle that works. And ours does.
All right.
There you go. Exiting out of Wonderhome, then. Nix, you do come upon. You see this large castle that's held up on several stone legs that look like inverted spires that seem to hold it aloft, and it's moving towards everyone, and the legs bend at several different joints, luring the castle proper down as you see this Githyanki, yellow-skinned, high-eared, almost pink-snouted individual come and welcome you back. It is good. And you brought a new one. Oh, and Kelly, it is nice to see you again.
It's been a long time.
Has it?
From my point of view.
I think your room is still untouched, though.
Are we still flooded?
Yes, the pool of acid is perfect.
No.
Pool.
Every
of-
morning I add a fresh fish to it.
Oh no. No, I'm not like that anymore, PW.
Oh, well, I guess I'll just keep doing it. Just tradition is as it should be.
So usually we just threw you in the water and then you would be fine.
Yeah, I can just sleep beside the pool. It'll be fine.
But that's where the food sleeps.
Mhm. It's okay. I'm actually pretty used to sleeping in rough conditions.
Also, we're going to have to get some of the guards down here with some barrels. There's a whiskey river that is going to go to waste if we don't get on it immediately.
See several upon this thing now. It is largely there's like an entire castle town of people that walk around on this, and they start to come out. Probably a good population of 1,000 coming on out and taking barrels of whiskey and loading up according to Perilous Weaver's instructions.
Are we going to be doing some delivery jobs, PW?
Oh, yes, the universe has been starved of good booze for quite some time, so we shall make a killing. And gold, I guess, too, but mostly killing.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
I supervise, but by supervise, I mean I mostly stand on a barrel.
How big is this castle in comparison to like Howl's Moving Castle? Like, is this like Carcassonne town in France type castle, or is this like?
It's enormous, I would say, and now has been expanded so that there's like additional houses in like the courtyard and all these things.
So it's a town with a castle. It's
Yes.
wow. How did you guys find this place? Build this place? Where did it come from?
Well, if I remember... Oh, go ahead, Alistair.
Well, we found it the way we more or less do everything, by complete accident.
Yeah. I remember we were tracking Metal Man and came across this cave, right? That turned out to be the castle.
Okay.
Pretty sure we saved the day. That's what I remember most keenly then. We saved the day, And Zathir was like, "Oh, you should definitely have this castle." And we were like, "Oh, we couldn't possibly." And she was like, "Yes, you definitely should." And we were like, "Oh, okay, begrudgingly." And I'm pretty certain that's how it went, at least. I remember.
Was it moving around then, or was it just a castle in a place?
Oh, yes, it was on legs at that point then. We've only ever known it with legs.
Yep. Never
This
flown.
is strange. Nyx being very small, this is a bit overwhelming.
You know what helps me get perspective is I go to the highest tower at the top of the castle and I look down and everything is small from up there. So then essentially everything feels about the same size. And then sometimes I shoot an Eldritch Blast just to remind myself how big things actually are. And then, by comparison to the explosion, everything looks very small.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That's the castle?
It's a good representation, yeah.
Oh. So it's grown since the last I was here.
Does it have a tail?
It does now.
If it doesn't, I know Naylan would vote for it to also have a tail. So.
Yes. This is since its expansion.
Nice.
Well, so when it's walking, I mean, does everybody have all their stuff tied down? Or is it so smooth that you never know that it's actually moving?
It jostles and tips so often you won't even notice anymore after a while.
So kind of like being on a boat? Maybe.
More or less.
Okay.
I have heard people say they were waiting to get their castle legs.
Cool. Well, where do we go now?
I wouldn't mind taking a look around at the new stuff, but if we have a I'm sorry. If we have a if we got a mission to do, we should maybe at least get up to speed on it and go for it.
I'm game for whatever.
I'm pretty sure it was just that one guy's bracelet or something. But no, you should see the garden. Just don't eat the poison parts. There is a pretty large section that's mostly poisonous plants, so maybe avoid that part of the garden. But the other part of the garden, very nice. A couple graves, but very nice.
Okay. Is this garden like Central Park size garden or?
Above table, it's one of the bastion rooms or one of the things that you can pick. So I think it's a garden that's of a pretty good size that you could grow crops or that kind of a thing.
Indoors or?
Oh yes, I believe it's open to the sky.
This place sounds pretty interesting.
Yes, there's also that pool full of acid. Kelly quite likes that room.
I
You
don't.
drop elephants into it?
Ooh, not yet.
No. I
If
don't
we
really
find
know
that
about-
wand.
I'm not big on pool water or anything. I'm thinking maybe just a regular bed from now on.
Well, we probably have a couple of those.
A pool of water? Sorry, I missed something.
Oh, there was a time when I was, and I just kind of whisper, I was a fish person.
Oh, okay. I'm a rabbit person, so I'm not judging.
Well, I'm not, and I am. So, anywho, inside.
Yeah, I'll follow.
I'll follow too.
Head to our kitchen area that has our to-do list, where I can start burning out the save alcohol line.
Like a chore list, everybody's name on it.
Well, the church art was destroyed in a very fortunate series of accidents.
So where is everybody? Where's Simone and Silver?
They left before Kelly.
Oh, I have a bad memory. Oh.
Well, they came back and then they left again.
I'm above table. I'm still trying to figure out all of the things this character can do. So I'm a little tuned out. It's just because there's
That's
so
right.
much to read.
The only question I had was like, as far as this castle, you said it was like a town now. So does that mean?
Yeah, we
there are
picked up a
people
bunch
who
of
live
people.
here? Oh, okay, okay. What's the name of the town again?
I don't know if we have a name.
No, no name. It's just your castle. The people live here.
Cool.
We inadvertently destroyed a town, and we basically collected the refugees, and they
Gotcha.
made a town on the castle.
Yes, after dooming the town to destruction, they said,
Yes.
"Nah, don't die in the sulfurous wastes. Come with us."
Cool.
You guys destroy a lot of stuff.
To be
The
fair,
town,
was subsisting entirely off the sleeping carcass of a Tarask that was waking up. So there wasn't a whole lot of choice involved on anybody's part.
we really should check in on Terry at some point. He's probably getting bored down there in the demon webs.
Demons? What?
Oh, our pet Tarask, he's just down there frolicking in the demon webs.
Wait, what?
We had to get rid of the Tarask, and the only viable solution we had was to open a portal and send it through to the demon web pits. So
I mean, we call it the farm, but it's really the demon webs.
Oh.
I hope he's getting enough to eat down there.
I'm sure it won't bite us in the ass later.
Oh, boy. Any other things that we should be aware of?
Are there places in this town we shouldn't go?
No, our town, city, castle is totally safe. We did accidentally give the impression to the robot population that the world perhaps maybe needs a teensy nudge in the evil direction, just, maintain balance, because everywhere we went, things just went so well, you see. So now we're trying to make up for that, but, not going overboard, not totally good, like we maybe set a whiskey river on fire occasionally just to even things out, so.
That's why this guy is with us. And Alistair points down at the Modron that has been following us this entire time, taking notes.
Gosh.
So here is this huge metallic round creature with about 30 different eyes that open and shut and going, says, getting information. Compiling.
Was this guy with us the whole time?
Yeah, he's been here the whole time.
Is always observing.
Cloud did not notice.
He was invisible, and now
He
he's made
blends
himself
in,
visible.
yes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
As a few tentacles come out and start to poke Nix and Kelly. New additions.
Get off. Don't. Hey, consent is important, and don't touch.
May I process you as new additions?
No.
Sure. Why don't you process Tamagotchi too?
Begins to poke and prod.
Yeah, so if he doesn't think that things are balanced enough, then he kind of feels like he's got to tip the scales a little bit. And since, again, we did such a bang-up job, really best job anyone's ever done, he, maybe thought that the world needed more evil, which personally for me, I, think it could use a lot more. But anyway, we're trying to balance things back out again by showing him a more balanced perspective of the world. So, they don't feel the need to tip the scales as best we can.
By what standard is he measuring balanced? Why does he get to decide that?
Well, he's kind of the representative for his race of people. So he's the one who decides. And also, maybe we broke him just a tiny amount in his ability to make decisions, because at this current moment he maybe thinks that everything that is true is also false, and that everything false is also true. Which again was our attempt to make things better, just to frame that as clearly as possible.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
we're out. We need supervision.
Do we though?
Quick, we have to make a new plot.
All right. Plant dynamite all over the castle.
I'll help with that. I have thieves' tools.
Now it's a murder mystery and we're in Clue.
It was Colonel Mustard in the library with the pipe.
Then we can ask the mummy who lives in the library, who did it?
I feel like you could spend several campaign episodes just wandering around this place. Or have you guys already done that?
We have, well, yeah, like a hermit crab, we've accumulated detritus as we have traveled along and simply stuck it to ourselves and carried it.
It's also the Matt's been using the Bastion rules. That's what. So it's a optional rule set that involves each of us having a room in the castle that has certain functions. So that's where the garden comes from and things like that.
Do you design the rooms, or do they just appear sort of ready for who you are?
Both. There's a PDF that we have that gives a reference for all the different kinds of rooms you can have.
Okay.
But this is also basically our main way of getting around the Outlands.
I wonder if people go screaming in terror whenever this thing shows up on the horizon.
Not in the Outlands. I think they've seen worse.
I mean, that's the great thing about it, is it's very quiet, so you can actually sneak right up on people.
I wonder, are there other moving towns like this?
We've seen a couple others, but not in any great detail.
Oh wait, there was that one time when we saw like all the different versions of ourselves in the different castles.
True. We have also attended events where other people have also been in walking castles.
I feel like this could turn into a, what is that book series? Mortal Engines or something like that?
Oh wait, is Xena still here?
Yes, Xena is still, I believe, the captain of the guard.
Is, okay.
We did some sort of competition somewhere where we were
Yeah.
Random
besting.
NPCs picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was Pixie Kelly who rolled the persuasion. I don't remember. It's been forever.
Well, and you had also previously like aced a couple strength checks too, I thought. You were like nat 20'd.
Wow.
But there was a character that was introduced that was essentially Xena Warrior Princess, who then were like, hey, could you work at our castle actually? Because we need someone who will be in charge of our guards.
Great.
Yeah, she's still here.
I mean, does she look like Lucy Lawless, or
She was describing, literally when Matt was describing her, I was like, she's got dark hair and she's like a chakram on her head. I'm like, wait a second, is that just Xena Warrior Princess? She's like, yes, okay, this is Xena Warrior Princess.
great? Well, if that's how things are going to go, I want my room to be bigger on the inside with a blue door.
That's definitely available.
Pretty sure that's how it works in general. Considering some of the rooms we have.
I guess since we're not specifically playing at the moment, waiting for Matt, do you guys have any recommendations for learning clerics? I mean, I had created this character last minute before the game last week, and then I got thrust into this character.
I don't know if I have advice. I mean,
I've played a couple of clerics.
Mostly useful spells. There's a his spell list
Oh,
is enormous.
well, I mean, you know about the obvious one, like Spirit
Yep.
Guardians.
Yeah.
Spirit Guardians is the shit.
It's also worth probably thinking that a cleric in this particular campaign is in a little bit different position
Okay.
since we don't do death saves. Right? When we fall, we just switch to a new character. That changes. Normally, clerics are there to stabilize people who have fallen to 0 hit points.
So revivify is not really a necessary one.
Not as important.
And you want to think about I feel like I've played a lot of people who play clerics as I'm not going to heal you till you fall to 0 because it's not worth it. That doesn't make any sense to do with this group,
Right.
Right.
because once you fall to 0 we just get a new person. So thinking more in terms of healing while people are still on their feet,
So
unless we want to strategically have somebody die and get a new character, which is always something we can do.
So that's definitely
And have done.
Because I remember when I was doing Planescape, I remember we did do the death saves, so I assume that was something that's more
It happened when we had the mix of glitches and level 17s.
Oh yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Situations where because the glitches were still level 10, they would die really early in a combat and you just kind of sat and twiddled your thumbs. So
am I not remember? I mean, it's very possible I'm not remembering correctly, but didn't there used to be a cantrip for healing and now there's not?
There's never a healing cantrip.
Oh.
No.
there's Spare the Dying.
Yeah, Spare
the Dying is the only cantrip
It's an
related to it.
auto stabilization of somebody at 0, but that's the kind of thing, again, it doesn't really make much sense in this party because we're never doing death saves, at least not at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hard mode.
The other stuff you look at is like, what are you going to use your concentration for? You're either looking for damage out of it, which is Spirit Guardians, or you're looking for a benefit, which would be like Bless or something with temp HP, like Aid or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Those are useful.
All right, so hopefully it won't happen again, but there's several weather things, including hail and such things going on in the area. So,
Oh,
including tornado watches, all types of things.
Wait. I mean, what general region are you in?
I am in Ohio, Southern.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we got it. We got it earlier today. We got
Yeah.
nasty stuff earlier today.
Yeah, so it might not be right me, but with, if some internet station goes somewhere else, I don't know. All I know is it could be intermittent, but we are here for now.
cool.
Glad my background blocks out the never-ending sunshine of Southern California.
Yeah, I was just asking about Xena, and I guess she's still around.
Though she's probably ready to depart now that what you did is complete.
Yeah,
You've
that's
completed
true.
and destroyed Brimskata.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you, Xena.
All right. So the Castletown is a buzz, and incidentally, you do see a large ship that is seemingly docked by one of the towers.
Like an airship.
Looking closely, it seems, yeah, I would say it looks like a large ship that might go into the water, has sails and such things, but it seems to be docked in the sky.
Maybe we should go check that out.
Oh, wow. That's always cool.
Maybe it's delivery.
Does this town make you money? Like, are you in charge of this town or you just live here?
Well, we're kind of in charge of it since we dictate where it goes and hire the people that work here. And
Probably worth
Usually.
noting that the town has been on the castle for probably less than a week.
Oh, wow. That's okay.
It's literally the thing we did right before we found you. So very
So-
little has been established other than we're giving them shelter.
So are we walking around this town? The people are kind of in shock.
Probably.
Less than a week ago, they thought they would die.
Okay. I mean, I'm
They also no longer have a meat fountain that just gives them meat. So my guess is there might be some various other shocks to the system. Living on the Tarask, they had a fountain that just gave them meat from the Tarask, presumably.
Is there any kind of farmland on this thing, or
Think we established that they send people down on ropes to like
Forage as we go.
what's the term? Forage as we pass by the Outlands.
maybe if they're so used to meat, they should find a way to keep cattle or something on this thing. I don't know. I'm a vegetarian, so it doesn't bother me, but I mean, what happens if the land you're going through doesn't support much, produce? What happens if they starve? They gonna turn on you? Take over the town? Revolt?
Surely not.
PW gleefully rubbing his hands together. Ooh, I can only hope.
All right. Well, are we heading towards the
Oh yeah.
boat?
I mean, if
Definitely.
you're lucky, you live long enough to be overthrown.
Is that what the ship looks like?
Yeah, essentially.
So Alistair has really mixed feelings about the tentacle heads hanging off the side of it. Very mixed feelings.
What are they? Alistair, do you know what those are?
I'm just familiar with things of a similar cephalopod bent.
Oh.
I'm not sure I know precisely what those things are. And I'm not sure if I'm happy or sad that they're dead.
Okay.
Well, be cautious.
Yes, they could have been relatives.
Of Alistair?
Poor Alistair's chest tentacle.
No, whatever's here.
Oh. Okay.
Long story.
Nyx is very confused, but tries to keep it to himself. Well, and Nyx is somewhat fascinated by the ship, so are we there? Are we going aboard?
Waiting to hear what exactly everybody's doing. Like we have a lot of questions. I'm just waiting for this is the thing we are doing.
I think we're approaching we're going up to the tower that the ship is
Yeah.
docked at.
Okay.
And
That is the plan.
if there's nobody there waiting, I'm assuming one of us will call to the ship.
Very good.
I don't know. PW, you seem like you're pretty happy to make things happen.
Well, I love making things happen.
Would you see
PW
yourself the captain of the ship like this?
I was gonna say PW would drop down to like all fours and like scuttle towards the ship if we are getting close.
Nyx looks at Alistair and says, "Is that just to creep people out, or is there a reason he does that?"
I don't think those two options are mutually exclusive.
Okay.
You hear it? It can be two things.
Anything can be two things.
Okay. So you begin to get into the tower, and there you see kind of a nice assortment of various individuals. Some people who essentially are large hippos and walking around. There's a few that just look like little puddles of slime that suddenly get up and look a little more humanoid and go over to what looks like a roast of some type of creature that had 37 ribs, and they just sort of put their whole bodies over it and begin to slowly disintegrate and absorb it. And finally, a tabaxi that is bald completely from their shoulders up, looking very strange indeed, with an eye patch on their left eye, their right eye, actually with a vertical pupil, almost serpentine, as they kind of look as they go. Ah, this is the masters of the castle.
Yes.
Definitely.
And Matt, as an astral elf, how familiar does this look?
I mean, you probably not at all.
Okay.
Because of your history. So your like your race doesn't give you any knowledge, right?
Right.
So I'm not sure where this Kelly's been. You're the only one who knows. Because usually you've made your Kellys having nothing to do with any of that.
Cool.
They've always been like on a world, but with that type of ancestry that was more generations removed.
Just checking.
Okay. So it more depends on what, I don't know. If they traveled the Astro Sea?
More than likely when they were younger, but even so, I mean, it is Planescape, so memories are what they are.
Okay, then they might be somewhat familiar. And so they bow here, and as you identify yourself, right. Well, in that case, well, Matt, we thank you for letting us dock here for the time being.
I'm sure our exorbitant docking fees will make up for your pleasure now.
You're welcome. My name is Alistair. May I ask who we are addressing?
Oh, yes. I am Captain Zathrax. And this is my ship, the Morning Tier.
Quite lovely. What brings you to this part of the multiverse?
Huh? Well, riches and opportunity.
Really?
Indeed. Ultimately, I had a conversation with a friend of mine. Said all of you were heroes. Did some crazy adventure on the Shadowfell. And from the talk, it is you we have to thank for all the alcohol tasting better.
Well,
Yeah, that was
where Shadowfell, I wasn't around for it though. But yes, I believe we were on the Shadowfell at some point.
Yes. Saved the Raven Queen and all of the multiverse in one fell swoop. Very good. Stole a robot from Vecna. Heard all. He couldn't shut up about it. At any rate, I just thought that maybe you'd be interested in an opportunity. Quite interesting one at that. To make some serious money.
hopefully this opportunity isn't along the same lines as what you just described.
I'm sure it's far more dangerous. No, I'm sure it's fine.
Fantastic.
Well, no. Let's see. Put this quite simply. There is a new world of sorts that has come into existence to my attention, some others. And from what I understand, there could be many parties on their way right now to see what it holds. And I'm just wondering. Now I know you've got all the planes and all the things you could possibly want here, but if for the right price, you might be interested in taking a whole different type of adventure.
Oh,
Is this,
yes. Kelly looks a little inebriated still, by the way.
is this just exploration or scouting? Is there something we're supposed to do?
Well, I mean, we want to get everything of value out of it. We don't know much about it, you see. It's,
What do you?
well, quite simply, it began its existence roughly 2 months ago as a little speck. And then a wild magic storm began swirling around it. And it's grown and grown and grown, you see. This has caused it to be unobservable, except by the naked eye. And absolutely impossible to get to, except by ship.
Which you so happen to have.
Haha, now you're getting it.
And what do we get out of whatever this is?
Well, say you come with us, we hook you up with a nice squid ship. Yeah, or any ship you'd like. We can even give you a galleon like this one, if you'd like. You sail there, and we split everything 50-50. Right? Because we provide you with the ship. And someone comes up to whisper, if you even like, I think we can outfit this castle to sail the Astral Sea. If you'd prefer.
Hey, really?
You don't have any weapons, so you might be a little,
Let's do it.
But, yes, leave here, go there. Just understand, we don't necessarily want to go, but if we give you the map, give you the resources, and then everything you get, we split halfway.
60-40. We're the ones who are getting into danger. You're just giving us stuff.
Yes, and why don't you want to go? You have the map, you have the ship. It sounds like you're ready to go. Why do you even need us?
Well, I guess we'll be real here. We've got other things that we have our eyes on, and it's going to be dangerous. The wild magic surge is just not something we're used to. And we're definitely not used to such Terran explorations. Now, all of you, my understanding is you've been here on this relatively material place, even though it's not technically in the spheres. So you're used to things like walking a little more, that's all.
All the more reason why we should get more of this than you, if we're the ones who are getting into trouble. If we fail, you lose a boat. If we fail, we lose our lives.
Right, far less valuable. Let's give me a persuasion check.
That would be a 7.
60-48. Tell you what. We'll let you do 55, we'll do 45.
But I don't have to be the one making this decision. What do you guys all think?
I think that this nice captain just offered to turn our castle into a flying castle.
I agree with the inebriated miner.
So we're talking about the castle, not a boat.
Oh
That's what
yeah,
they said.
get Astrohelm on here, and get everything you need. Now, once you're there, it'll probably land on the world itself, right? Go over to the new world, and I guess, which is the other thing, not quite sure how to get it launched again. You're gonna have to figure that out when you're there.
Well, that's why. That's the scout way, right?
There is, of course, the return re-entry merit badge. That's what I've heard.
I could use that one.
Okay, but think about it this way. If we take a boat, we're endangering ourselves. If we take the castle, we're endangering all of these people that you rescued from the last thing that they were dealing with.
All right.
It's fine. They're employees.
Can we cover them with like an astral shield?
Or just a bag, just a regular hempen bag.
Listen,
W, Nalen's gonna have words with you when she
I know. I'm enjoying that she's in some sort of weed-induced coma right now.
I got the sense she was your conscience.
I
Alistair,
know it's great when she's asleep.
Alistair, how do you feel about this?
You look over, and the minute that this person said "new world" has come into being, his head has been down in his notebook, scribbling wildly as he's been talking to himself. Changes the calculations. That can just happen. And we know that the math has to be wrong. And he's writing things out and scribbling fantastic notes. Looks up at you when you say that and just goes, when are we leaving?
Well, okay, no.
We can go now. I'm fine to go now. I'm all packed. We can go now.
Alistair, I get that we're going to do it. Do we take ourselves or do we take everybody?
He looks around.
Boat, town.
All your equipment
At this
is
point,
here.
just give the people in the town, put the people in the town somewhere in the outlands, preferably nice and green, and not take them with us everywhere. That seems to be the most logical thing to do at this point.
So still taking this castle, but without all the people?
Well, it does sound like once we're on this new world, the ship would not be as useful because we're going to have to walk around. The castle would allow us to have some form of ground transport, which will make it easier to actually scout and learn as much as we can about this new world, provided, of course, that the world actually has solid ground to stand on. It could be a gaseous world. There could be actually no solid ground, in which case it doesn't really matter either way, but we don't know that yet. So we're going to have to make a few assumptions, a few contingency plans. He starts babbling.
Plus, the atmosphere of the planet would require a different type of propulsion than space travel.
I like the idea of having the conveniences of this place, even though I don't really know what's here. But I feel very uncomfortable with taking all of these people and endangering them to whatever it is we might find. We can make that decision, but I don't think it's fair to them that we make it for them.
So if we took the boat, would the boat have problems lifting off the planet?
We look at the captain.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
How do you know?
It's better to take the cats.
Have you sent other people there before?
No. This would be first you'd come on, and like I said, be on your way.
Wait a minute. Is that like based on a what does Alistair call him? Calculation? A calcination?
Calculation?
Calculation.
Mm-hmm. I think what the captain's trying to say is that we does not know whether we'll have problems getting off again or not, because we know literally nothing. about what this place is going to be like.
So what we know is any type of magical travel there is absolutely impossible.
Right.
And so, what we can calculate and understand is that on your entry, you're going to have to go straight for it. At some point, your astral realm will completely cease to function, and you'll make, a crash landing, hopefully in the water. If we give you the galleon, if we give you something else, you're going to aim a little different. The castle, I guess you're kind of land with a nice gallop on some land.
So, about that, if magical travel is not a possible, and Master looks down at the very obviously magical legs that are carrying this castle around, he says, do we have any reason to believe that the castle will actually be able to function as it normally does in this new place, or is it going to just become an inert castle?
I mean, things like shifting planes and typical magical instant travel. The ship itself, the only problem with it is that it doesn't like the astral aspect. I'd imagine your castle. I mean, I don't know. I didn't build this, but maybe it'll land. Or
Can I do an insight check to see if he knows more than he's telling us, or is he on the level here?
He doesn't know less that he's telling us.
That's a 21.
Okay. Looking at him, I would say horribly, he's probably downplaying the dangers.
Right.
But he's not like lying about them. He's just sort of be a little bit more glossy over them. And he's going to go with any type of thing that's going to help you all do it. So he's going to be like, sure, the castle is fine. I just want you to land there. And then you figure out how to get off. And if the castle breaks and there's a bunch of pieces, well, we'll figure it out. Because right now he's going for the yes. He just wants the commitment. And he's basically willing to but he's not trying to trick you necessarily.
I mean, I'm also really trying to find out if he's already sent people to this thing. And...
Yeah, as far as that specifically, he seems to be telling the truth about that.
Okay.
Given the possibility or the uncertainty about that, perhaps we should leave the castle here and take something that we potentially honestly don't care as much about losing.
I agree. I don't think it's a good idea to risk something that's this valuable to you, especially the people.
What is it that we're looking for again, other than just getting a lay of the land?
Oh, we're exploring, my dear.
It's a new world.
We'll also be looking for our way back.
Yes, I mean, certainly that's on the list. It's on the to-do list. More lists for you to burn lines off of, PW.
Yes. You know, Daled's not here to do it, but I feel like I should threaten bodily harm on her behalf. If you do betray us, know that we will find our way back and we will kill you repeatedly.
Understood. I will do the same.
Perfectly reasonable. In fact, I wish you'd succeed.
Are you offering to send anyone with us?
Well, I mean, you feel like if you feel like you're not up to the job by yourselves, talk about it.
Well, it's not like we have experience sailing a ship. Is there a crew?
They mostly sail itself.
Nix looks up at all the sails and the lines. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
How many people are on this ship?
Well, his crew is quite massive, but he just goes, no, listen, all you need is just somebody who's got a clear mind, and you just think your way in the right direction. It's the think method, you see.
I have a clear mind.
That rules all of us out.
Whew.
Right. Well, if you are interested in somebody, I do know if you there's a college that's on its way there too. And I knew of a bloke or two that might that would be interested in jumping that college to jump onto your ship if you wanted a bit of help. Maybe
We need a reliable pilot.
you'd have to. Well, you all look real reliable to me.
No. Don't
You'd be
assume things.
surprised. How we steer this castle is amazing.
You know, I thought he did his research before he came to us. Clearly not.
Yeah. Did anyone provide him with our references? Because
Most of our references can't provide references anymore, unfortunately, and due to unforeseen circumstances.
did they end up in that pool of acid or something like that?
I mean, if they're lucky.
Does this, to the rest of the group, does this town have access to supplies? Like, can we stock up on healing potions and such before we go?
Alcohol.
We just got our butts kicked, so I think we should,
Food, alcohol, and bandages.
not about alcohol, just definitely food and supplies. The reason I'm asking is because ask him if we don't have access to that stuff on this giant castle thing.
Right. The refugees here were living in a place where healing potions were not probably strictly necessary. Tarask meat acts as a regenerative.
So Nyx turns back to the captain and says, reliable navigator,
Right.
stocked up with food and supplies and healing supplies, and we'll do it for 50-50 on a ship.
And a year's supply of polar bear meat. I mean, polar bear food meat.
You want him to butcher polar bears? That's an interesting twist.
Polar bear, food for the polar bear.
Yeah, food for the polar bear.
Much less.
A year's supply of seal meat, I guess.
Polar
Thing.
bear. Polar bear. Mhm.
Whatever a polar bear would eat.
I mean, I know he looks tiny and thin, but he eats a lot.
Right. So, definitely right. So we'll get you the map. On Navigator, very well. I can find someone to do that. And then the helm really does most of the steering. You just have to, sit in it.
Well, to be clear, when I mean navigator, I mean someone who can guide the boat itself. Because we.
You're perfectly qualified. But listen, if you're insisting, we'll give you somebody. That's fine.
I mean, there's a drunk Girl Scout right here, right? I mean, we're not that.
All right, listen, I'm not going to argue.
Don't necessarily want to give some of the things in my head control of a ship. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah,
I've driven a yacht.
Yeah, Kelly has the navigation merit badge. She's perfectly capable.
reliable pilot, please. They can stay with the ship. They won't have to do any of the other stuff. They
I
just
mean, there was that lovely bird ship outside of Yizgard.
All right.
He was quite nice. And they're very good.
All right. Sure. Well, if you want someone else to propel you at 4,166,666,000 miles an hour, besides yourself, that's fine.
I'm not, but I'd like to watch.
Maybe we could do this on our own.
So I'm okay. I don't know, Matt, above table, because we usually assume that people who are missing a session are here. And my understanding is that we've got Artificer Nailin back.
Yeah.
who seems like somebody who could absolutely pilot a ship like this. So, like the four of us, maybe not, but I do wonder if.
Yeah, so you're kind of saying they're not necessarily willing to give you a full crew. But in the bigger talk, what you're able to understand is this, is that a full crew can do a lot of the fancy stuff with a ship. Maneuverability, more combat-oriented things. But any idiot can sit in the chair and make it go forward and follow a path.
Well, we have 4
All they need is
eligible
the spellcasting
participants.
feature.
We're well
We have
qualified
4
for that.
idiots. And there are 4 buttons.
If we count the polar bear, it's 5 of us could drive this ship.
That's right.
If we count how many voices are in Alistair's head, that's another.
That's more of a collective.
And I would say for those of you observing, like, if you want somebody, he'll give you somebody, but he's basically made it super dangerous. His whole point is to not risk his crew. It's why he's willing to go into this. And again, if your characters are not interested, but this is his thing is like the least amount of expenditure of I don't know what type of power, but sentient creature power that he's willing to put into it, because he has quite a few non-humanoids, so it's not humanoid power.
I'll tell you what, if you could just walk us through all the stuff we need to know, and we might feel a lot more confident about our abilities.
Sure. Right.
Can we tell what kind of role it would take to navigate with the craft, or what kind of expertise it would take?
So we only want to take anything to follow the pathway. It would only be it would be like some navigation checks as far as like survival, and it would depend on what you're exactly trying to do to maneuver the ship itself.
Ooh, I'm good at that.
Slowly.
So it's not animal handling.
No. Because what he's basically talking about is more or less, hyper speed, which is the ship is capable of, to use a parlance, which requires very little skill. It's the maneuvering it through like an asteroid field that would be like the harder thing.
And Alistair will point out as well that Alistair actually has navigator tools.
Oh, nice.
So Alistair does actually have the ability to use navigator tools.
Well, it sounds like we're set then. Fully stocked ship, healing potions, polar bear food. And I guess we'll be on our way.
Yeah, I think Alistair would also at some point just say to Nyx, kind of away from the captain and everybody else, it's probably also worth remembering that if we were to bring another individual of his, they do not have the resilience to death that we do. So we would be putting them in a more dangerous position, much like we didn't want to put the people living in our town.
Yeah, all right, good point.
We should just do this ourselves.
Then let's just do it ourselves. When Naylin comes out of her whatever it is, then we turn it over to her.
All right.
I feel like Naylin has spoken before to one version of me about sailing, something similar to this. So she may have some experience.
Okay.
So they're willing. They can give you a galleon ship of like what you see. They can give you what's called a bombard or a damselfly ship.
What are the
Are there
benefits?
differences? Oh, good.
Yeah, whatever's safer for people who have absolutely no idea how to sail a ship.
So the galleon's the biggest. The damselfly is fairly tiny, but it's fairly maneuverable, and it's pretty.
I like that idea.
And then there's the bombard that is quite scary.
Oh, no.
I think fast and maneuverable is probably better.
I like big and luxurious.
It would be more the galleon.
Yes, rank them by cargo space if you could.
Oh,
So the galleon would have the most, but it's also like the hardest to maneuver through things.
I think we got this. It just doesn't have enough lifeboats for some reason.
So that's the bombard
Ooh.
with the big frontal cannon.
okay.
You had PW at frontal cannon.
And then I'll show you the damselfly.
Mhm. That picture makes me not want to choose that one.
They look like they're having a glorious time. Look at that. They have a tiny catapult. Like, oh, take that.
What does the galleon look like?
I showed you that, but I'll put it up again.
Oh, I thought that was the bombard.
No,
the original.
Beginning,
With all
the very
sails.
first should be showed.
Oh, the okay,
With the
okay.
ellipted heads hanging off the side.
Well, PW knows where his vote's going.
PW, what would your metal heart desire?
Control of a frontal cannon.
And I think that's what we need. Your satisfaction is important in this.
There are just very few problems in the multiverse that you cannot, in fact, solve with a frontal cannon.
Are those side cannons on that?
Well, for all the problems that aren't in front of you.
And spikes on the front?
I don't
I think-
know. Bombard has my vote. What do you guys think?
did you have a question?
Truly, I'm willing to commit to the galleon or the bombard. But that damselfly looks dangerous.
What's the difference in size between the galleon and the bombard in terms of levels?
You got it. So let me kind of get this in here. As far as level, well, I'll put it this way. So, damselfly can do cargo of 5 tons,
Okay.
and the bombard can go ahead and do a cargo of 150 tons.
Okay.
So it kind of gives you an idea of size. And then the galleon has a cargo of 20 tons.
20?
Yes.
So the bombard exceeds that by 100 plus.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So the
Bombard's the largest. Okay.
it sounds like it. So the galleon in the bombard's defenses, are they mostly in the front, or do they also have side cannons like this one?
Mostly front.
All right. So this one has side cannons, but not front ones, right?
Correct. It has like spikes in the front.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some spec sheets here too.
Well, I think it's
I'll give you all the information you want. I don't want to overload you with information. So that's
We're
mostly
here
what
at the
a lot
ship
of
dealership. That's
Yeah.
I'm just
So it's like
thinking
this is one of
about-
those things where I'm like, the more you ask, the more I give, but I just don't want to be like, here's so much that now we've got
Absolutely.
analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
But-
So, because you said earlier that the galleon was actually the hardest to maneuver. Is that
Right.
Well, I imagine it has something to do with lining up those guns to fire on things. It's not an
Mhm.
easy task.
No,
So
no,
I
it's
would-
more like old school naval warfare.
so? I
Yeah.
wonder if the bombard is a good mix of not as hard to maneuver, but also has the most space. That
Yeah,
might make the bombard the best choice.
that sounds right.
So what you're telling me is the one with the frontal cannon is the most practical option.
All right. So I'm giving 3 little sheets. I'm going to basically a map of each one is what I'm putting into Discord for you.
So
And
above,
unfortunately, yes, PW, that is what we're telling you. And I wish we weren't.
above tail, I spent about 10 years working on a ship like that galleon.
Oh wow.
If you've ever seen the movie Master and Commander with Russell Crowe, that's the ship that I was on.
PW hasn't, but Daniel has.
So the thing with the bombard is that it has a cargo of 150 tons. However, every cannonball for that frontal cannon weighs 10 tons.
Oh,
There's a
jeez.
reason. There's always a reason for everything on a boat.
Look, if you shoot a 10-ton shot, how many shots do you need?
I don't know. How many of those large slugs with crab claws do you think we're going to run into?
What
I
is
mean,
this?
are we expecting a lot of trouble on the way to this thing, or are we expecting trouble when we get there? Like, what are we planning for here?
The key in adventure is to just always expect trouble. Or be the trouble. One of those two things.
How difficult is it to use the gun on the bombard? Like,
It takes 4 people to fire the cannon.
oh, great.
And one
So
of
it's
us,
a teamwork building
What,
exercise.
2 people for the guns on the galleon?
Well, as long as Ranger Kelly's here, you know, I mean, we got Tamagotchi can help in action. So
Tamagotchi, your azimuth is off again.
Adjust your pitch.
So Space Galleon to fire
I'm
the
cool with either
ballista
one.
is 3 crew. To follow them, fire the Magnell is 5 crew.
5.
those are what's on the galleon.
Yeah,
Okay.
ballista and Magnell.
So one of the
So it
big
takes even more
differences is that there's so it looks like there's 4 decks on the galleon and 3 decks on the bombard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think that's for us, for a small crew, that's not going to matter as much. So yeah, if we want to do the bombard, I'm totally cool with that.
Oh, wow. Okay. How far back does this thing get shunted every time it fires?
That's how we steer.
Great.
It gives us an additional boost.
And I assume that even when we are potentially in a ship-to-ship battle, that somebody still has to be in the helm controlling it, meaning with our current group, we could not fire a 5-person weapon because one of the 5 of us needs to be, unless Tamagotchi is legitimately going to be able to aid in firing something.
No, we make Tamagotchi steer, and then the rest of us can man it.
Okay.
Tamagotchi will only do it with an eye patch, though.
I don't know. I really feel like at this point, looking at these plans, we should be going with the smallest boat. Just get there quick.
My worry is, but we might be there for a while. We could be there for a really long time.
I agree that perhaps being smaller, faster, being able to avoid things might be best, but we are likely going to have to crash whatever the ship is onto the planet, and the smaller one may compound our difficulties in.
Yeah, but it's also not full of gunpowder.
So he will say, he's like, now, if you're really looking for something small, we could hook you up with a wasp.
Do you have yet a 4th pamphlet for us to review for Wasp?
I do.
You know, I heard good things about the Kia.
Yeah, is this an all-electric ship?
Again, if you want me to stop, I just want to help you. There's like 20 ships. I'm just trying not to give you everything.
This one comes with the arcane rebate. That's the if we.
Oh, those are eyes. It's like a mosquito.
Well, Nix knows nothing about ships, just worried about people getting hurt. So I defer to the rest of you. Nix is going to wander off and just sort of wander the dock looking at the ship that's there.
Yeah. And so you have a basic automaton crew for some of the bigger ones. This one you'd almost be able to take care of fully by yourself. But it would just depend. It is incapable of traversing and landing in water. That's the problem with the Wasp ship.
Yeah.
You know, we always end up in water.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Or they can still put a helm on your castle.
Oh, whatever you guys prefer.
If the ships are out here, PW is sitting on the cannon.
You know,
Okay.
if we just save our silverware, we can use that as a cannonball. Just saying.
So I hesitate to mention this because I know certain people in the group might get too excited about this prospect. But if we are at all concerned about the ability to get off of this plane, off of this mass at the end, aiming the frontal cannon at the ground could be a viable propulsion mechanism.
I was hoping you were going to say you could launch us with the cannon back to, the Outlands.
That is exactly what I'm saying, PW.
Yeah, it's
it's
exactly
amazing.
what happens when you shake up a bottle of soda.
All right. So let's decide. I think PW's voting for the Bombard. Is there? Let's put it this way: do anyone's characters or themselves really have a strong preference for another type of ship?
No, but I do
Not-
want for flavoring. I think Kelly Inebriated really likes the galleon and is kind of pointing it, but maybe PW points her finger towards the other. She doesn't realize it.
Just pushes her finger over.
Yes, that one.
Well, it looks like we'll go with the Bombard then.
I love it.
Oh, okay.
Very cool. All right. So right. We have won the fleet. We can get that ready to go. How many cannonballs do you want?
They call
How many are you legally allowed to sell us?
Well, it can hold 14.
Well, I don't see why we wouldn't have 15. One for luck.
It-
How much do they weigh?
He's like, the ship could hardly move if you do it. It could hold 14.
I was
hold
going
on,
to put
so
the extra
we're-
one in my quarters, but
Remind me of how much weight the Bombard can carry.
150 tons.
150 tons. Right. So and with 10 tons apiece, 14, that only leaves 10 tons other than cannonballs if you loaded at 14.
Does that
So
include the weight of the characters? Like,
I mean, you all don't go over 8 tons, so
right.
What it
So I feel like the salient question is the vast majority of the time, if we run into something while we were trying to travel there, are we going to attempt to run or fight?
this is even better than that. The more we fight, the better we are at running.
I wish I could argue with that.
Alistair, we could go ahead and try out that propulsion idea of yours to get off of this planet.
Mm.
I think that should be a plan C at best.
I feel like if we get into a situation where we're using 14 cannonballs, we're screwed anyway.
Yeah, how do you make these? Are these easy to make? We study them and
If they're way 10
ask me
tons,
if it's
No.
easy to make a 14-ton 30-foot. No,
yeah.
Oh, does the Bombard also have a ballista?
it does.
Oh, okay. So it's got ballista too. Okay, so it's not just the cannon.
Oh,
I'm going to vote
His
for
AC? Yeah.
I would. Oh, sorry, Nix.
Nix is going to suggest 7 shot for the cannon. So we have
that's a lot.
some shot to get into trouble with or out of trouble, and we also have the ballista.
Mm-hmm.
We also have more room in the hold, and it cuts down on the weight a little bit.
But see, if we bring 14 and then we encounter something where we're like, gosh, I guess we have 15 tons of gems, or survivors, I guess, that we have to save. We could just get rid of a ball. We could just drop it outside.
Or if we run out of cannonballs while fighting something, PW, we could always load you into the cannon.
Yes.
I had already written that into the instructions for how to use the cannon. Alistair, clearly not reading your updates.
I am not, but and in a certain sense, you may be a reusable piece of ammo, depending on how things go.
Well, if I land right, hopefully not.
Does he count as silverware?
Also, however many balls you want, PW will get one more to keep in his quarters.
Okay.
We'll get 7. It'll become 8. That's a nice even number.
An 8.
Just get them to deliver the cannonballs to us. We'll just drop them on top of us.
Does that sound people amenable to that, or we want to do 6 cannonballs with the 7th one in PW's quarters?
I like that plan.
It's however many you want, plus 1 lives in his quarters. Also, Matt, you were highlighting something useful, I believe above, that the bombard cannot land on the ground, but I counterpoint that to say that you could shoot a cannonball into the ground, thus giving you a nice rut that would fit your keel forward bombard.
Can any of the ships land on the land?
The
Probably
wasp.
the tiny one.
Oh,
yeah.
the wasp. Okay. All right.
But it can't land in water.
Look at that damselfly.
I vote for 8 cannonballs with 7 for the cannon, 1 for PW.
So when do we leave?
Oh gosh, I just remembered seeing that damselfly. Do y'all still have a pet fly flying around in here?
Oh.
What died many
Yeah, what-
generations ago?
No. No.
Gone.
I'm sorry, what?
There have been too much turnover. Nobody remembers it. At this point.
This PW knows of it, but
Well,
All right.
perhaps at least a night's rest. Or Alistair looks at Kelly. Maybe a week. I don't know. It depends.
I'm fine.
Oh, maybe being inebriated is actually an advantage.
That's what I say.
Do you have a higher pain tolerance when you're drunk?
Indeed. And so, just to be clear, this is the next major leg of this campaign you are embarking on. So to take
I
this.
wonder if anyone in the town has motion sickness medicine. Going to have to see.
Well, right now you're leaving the town behind, but you could recruit a crew, I guess, technically from your town.
Alistair, didn't you just say we shouldn't do that?
Yeah, Nix is against that. Nix does not want to put anyone else in danger.
you heard Nix, so it's volunteers only, fellas. Volunteers only.
I mean, that is the thing we could do, of course, is we can be completely straightforward. And if anyone still thinks this sounds like a fun idea,
Are any of you capable of being completely straightforward?
I am.
Alistair's lawful good. Alistair's actually a very honest person. That's part of the problem.
Well, then I guess you could go recruit if you wanted to. But are we?
How many max for the size of the ship that we have?
What, the crew?
Yeah, for crew. What's kind of our top end?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do a few things here. One, let me
Also, someone's cat is volunteering to join the crew.
Absolutely. Alistair will absolutely start putting up a board that says recruiting for a scientific
Yeah.
expedition.
So I'm going to say, but first I am going to go ahead and put the Bombard link right there in handouts for future, so y'all can have access. And the crew is 12.
Is that 12 polar bears or 12 humans? Or
Does it need a 12? Wait, so it requires a crew of 12? Is that what it?
It operates optimally with 12 crew members. 12 people
Okay.
operating it.
Matt, are you putting that under handouts or?
It is in handouts, yes.
Got it. Thanks.
You should have access. If something goes weird, you might have to like refresh your browser so it remembers that you are in my campaign. Sometimes it forgets. And then but do not buy anything because you're in my campaign, you should be able to look at it.
Alistair makes a poster that starts out in the glorious vein of the HMS Beagle and other such expeditions. Join our merry band of scientific explorers as we chart uncharted worlds.
Nice.
See if anyone responds to it.
Nix adds to the bottom, safety not guaranteed.
Oh my
I
god,
thought that went without saying, but
oh my god, she'll put their paw in ink and just put it on the page.
excellent.
Not his nose, not a nose print on the ship names. For this
PW will also
group?
scrawl in the top corner of the poster. If you die, one of us will remember you.
Unless you're a fly.
All right. So some interesting things is that your bastions at this point then will be left a little unattended. So if those of you have them.
Outsource our bastioning.
Okay. So they prepared the ship. The ship currently is in the astral plane, so they were kind of letting you do that. Waiting. And so you'll want to recruit.
Just, check the temperature.
Yeah.
Because we need like 6-ish?
You have all your teeth.
7. We need 7 because if Kelly dies, then Tamagotchi's gone too.
But who will steer the ship? That's
Very cool. So what we'll have you do is each of you can make a crew member.
Oh,
Ooh.
what all is required for a crew member?
So let's see. The easiest thing to do would be to utilize sidekicks, which I'll link the rules for sidekicks here. And you'll make level 10 sidekicks. Then they'll have whatever they need to be a pretty good crew, and then you can determine their story and their things. And then there'll be the other crew, essentially, from there. But these will be the special crew, also known as the ones I'll kill to create story tension if I want.
are they the red shirts?
Not red shirts, but the ones we care about.
The red robes, yeah.
Let me get us. There we go.
Is that where we choose between expert, warrior, and spellcaster?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, how do we do this?
I'm getting you the rules. They just found them quicker than I have posted.
Oh.
The if I know they're on D&D Beyond through
They
the extras, but
So the rules for them I just linked, but if you go to your character sheet under extras, you can select one of the 3 types.
Where do I? Oh, there we go.
But the link I put in handouts will explain what they are. all them types of things. You'd be pretty wild. One of you probably wants to. I imagine you may be able to recruit a Griff, since this is a Griff ship, which is the hippopotamus folk. But you don't have to.
I would like to recruit the ship cook if no one else is interested in doing so.
So we pick a level 10.
Yeah. They can give a little personality. You're going to kind of. You're also probably going to be RPing them, so. To a certain extent. But they will stay on the ship.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with a healer.
Very nice. So you'll do spellcaster with the healing.
So I just added them. And then come up with a person, I guess. If it's humanoid, we can pick whatever race we want, or...
Yes.
So, yeah. Is coming up with this character something we need to have ready now, or can we...
Yeah, we can move on. I just was skipping what they were looking at here. Skipping a
Did
few.
anyone? So next to go with a healer. Did anyone else have a sense of what type they wanted? Because I'm pretty open.
I just kind of picked the basic thing of the expert, since they had like the help action and they could use ranged or whatnot. But I can change mine to something like a warrior if need be.
Yeah. So just to give them a case, whatever.
I was intending to make the cook a warrior.
Nice.
Does a cook fight with
With that fear bow cook that they were showing.
Maybe a Steven Seagal.
Okay, so at that, so those are some of the ones that you were able to recruit. We'll kind of get all that. Again, take a little more time on that as we need. And you're able to get, like I said, basic supplies, like you said, enough to kind of make it through. Then I'm just going to kind of put you in there to perish right now. So the question is, anything else you wanted to do at the castle?
We should load up some barrels of whiskey.
Yes, I'll help you.
I need these in addition to the ones we're supposed to have. Did you realize that was actually a list of some mandatory alcohol?
I'm good with whatever. Either staying for a day or heading off.
Actually, it looks like it's one of the rules here where if you are on a ship, at least one person has to be drunk when you set sail. So I think actually we are supposed to leave while Kelly is drunk.
It'll be a while.
I think Alistair would go to the library and read up everything he can on Wild Space.
Nice.
You can go on if you were going to say something.
I clearly put in. You don't have to read it now, but they're just what were used for a few ship combat things, more of a narrative. But just as a note, and let's go ahead and take our break, and then we will come back.
Cool.
Woo.
Raise your mugs and raise them high to heroes who refuse to die. Glitches bold, they fight as one. Through fate untamed, their deeds ain't done. Through flames of Brimscarter's wrath, they carve a wild and winding path. If she wins, the kegs run dry. No more ale, the gods will cry. Save our ale, save our brew. Live and fight for whiskey, mead, and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Forgotten or we're through. Perilous weaver, sparks ignite. Spinning spells of arcane might. Nalin calls the roots to rise. Swarm of insects, bark-bound guys. Alistair calls the shadows deep. Eldritch whispers, dark and steep. Vena's gun rings, sharp and bright. Metal hands deal death with might. Save our ale, save our brew. If we fight for whiskey, mead, and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Forgotten or we're through. Cloud comes bounding swift and sly. Harengon fist will fly. Through the flames they break the chain. Forgotten will drink again. Through Sigel's gates and astral seas, they fight for beer and revelries. From dwarven halls to taverns bright, they'll keep our mugs filled every night. Save our ale, save our brew. Fight for whiskey, mead, and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Forgotten or we're through. the gods will cry. Save our ale, save our brew. Live and fight for whiskey, meat and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Vergadane or we're through. Perilous weaver, sparks ignite. Spinning spells of arcane might. Nalin calls the roots to rise. Swarm of insects, bark-bound guys. Alistair calls the shadows deep. Eldritch whispers, dark and steep. Vena's gun rings, sharp and bright. Metal hands deal death with might. Save our ale, save our brew. If we fight for whiskey, meat and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Vergadane or we're through. Cloud comes bounding swift and sly. Harengon fist will fly. Through the flames they break the chain. Vergadane will drink again. Through Sigil's gates and astral seas, they fight for beer and revelries. From dwarven halls to taverns bright, they'll keep our mugs filled every night. Save our ale, save our brew. Fight for whiskey, meat and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Vergadane or we're through. Raise your mugs and raise them high to heroes who refuse to die. Glitch is bold, they fight as one. Through fate untamed, their deeds ain't done. Through flames of Brimskarda's wrath, they carve a wild and winding path. If she wins, the kegs run dry. No more ale, the gods will cry. Save our ale, save our brew. Live and fight for whiskey, meat and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Vergadane or we're through. Perilous weaver, sparks ignite. Spinning spells of arcane might. Nalin calls the roots to rise. Swarm of insects, bark-bound guys. Alistair calls the shadows deep. Eldritch whispers, dark and steep. Vena's gun rings, sharp and bright. Metal hands deal death with might. Save our ale, save our brew. If we fight for whiskey, meat and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Vergadane or we're through. Cloud comes bounding swift and sly. Harengon fist will fly. Through the flames they break the chain. Vergadane will drink again. Through Sigil's gates and astral seas, they fight for beer and revelries. From dwarven halls to taverns bright, they'll keep our mugs filled every night. Save our ale, save our brew. Fight for whiskey, meat and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Vergadane or we're through. Raise your mugs and raise them high to heroes who refuse to die. Glitches bold, they fight as one. Through fate untamed, their deeds ain't done. Through flames of Brimskarda's wrath, they carve a wild and winding path. If she wins, the kegs run dry. No more ale, the gods will cry. Save our ale, save our brew. Biff and fight for whiskey, mead and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Forgotten or Withdrew. Perilous weaver, sparks ignite. Spinning spells of arcane might. Nalin calls the roots to rise. Swarm of insects, bark-bound guys. Alistair calls the shadows deep. Eldritch whispers, dark and steep. Vena's gun ring, sharp and bright. Metal hands deal death with might. Save our ale, save our brew. If we fight for whiskey, mead and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Forgotten or we're through. Cloud comes bounding swift and sly. Harengon fist will fly. Through the flames they break the chain. Forgotten will drink again. Through Sigil's gates and astral seas, they fight for beer and revelries. From dwarven halls to taverns bright, they'll keep our mugs filled every night. Save our ale, save our brew. Fight for whiskey, mead and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Forgotten or we're through. Raise your mugs and raise them high to heroes who refuse to die. Glitches bold, they fight as one. Through fate untamed, their deeds ain't done. Through flames of Brimskarda's wrath, they carve a wild and winding path. If she wins, the kegs run dry. No more ale, the gods will cry. Save our ale, save our brew. Biff and fight for whiskey, mead and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Forgotten or Withdrew. Perilous weaver, sparks ignite. Spinning spells of arcane might. Nalin calls the roots to rise. Swarm of insects, bark-bound guys. Alistair calls the shadows deep. Eldritch whispers, dark and steep. Vena's gun ring, sharp and bright. Metal hands deal death with might. Save our ale, save our brew. If we fight for whiskey, mead and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Forgotten or we're through. Cloud comes bounding swift and sly. Harengon fist will fly. Through the flames they break the chain. Forgotten will drink again. Through Sigil's gates and astral seas, they fight for beer and revelries. From dwarven halls to taverns bright, they'll keep our mugs filled those who refuse to die. Glitches bold, they fight as one. Through fate untamed, their deeds ain't done. Through flames of Brimskarda's wrath, they carve a wild and winding path. If she wins, the kegs run dry. No more ale, the gods will cry. Save our ale, save our brew. Biff and fight for whiskey, mead and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Forgotten or withdrew. Perilous weaver, sparks ignite. Spinning spells of arcane might. Nalin calls the roots to rise. Swarm of insects, bark-bound guys. Alistair calls the shadows deep. Eldritch whispers, dark and steep. Vena's gun rings, sharp and bright. Metal hands deal death with might. Save our ale, save our brew. If we fight for whiskey, mead and stew. Raise a glass to heroes true. Bring back Forgotten or we're through. Cloud comes bounding swift and sly. Harengon fist will fly. Through the flames they break the chain. Forgotten will drink again.
Alrighty.
Through Sigel's gates and astral seas, they fight for beer and revelries. From dwarven halls to taverns, they'll keep our mugs filled every night.
I like the Alleged. That's a good name.
Oh, the Alleged. That is a great ship name.
This is the HMS Alleged ship.
Well, you know, ships are like the Endeavor or the whenever. This is the Alleged.
I love it.
I mean, the other option is Alias. So
A quick thing with the sidekicks, Matt. If we opt to make them like a specific humanoid race, do you want us to just use the stat block for that and not include any of the stuff that the race may get? Or
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily. So this is more just kind of who they not really
Cool.
traits.
then the only other thing is, because I'm going to go with an expert, can I swap out a couple of the skill proficiencies?
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I will make note of that before.
All right. That's a no. So far, so good, but it is insanely healing upon my roof. So we will see.
it's
So
noted that my
far, so
warrior's
good.
name is. Oh, good.
So far, so good would be another good name for a ship.
That is very good.
The
We should make that
HMS
if we have an
will
escape.
get there. HMS will get there.
The hopeful.
The hopeful. The eventually.
Matt, if
hope
it's hailing on your roof, are you guys under a threat watch right now? A warning, or is it just a big storm?
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I mean, nothing's been cited. There's very loud things that will go if there's a further problem with a tornado or something. They test them every month. And so if I hear that, then I will go. But very good, then. Seems that it has its name. The alleged. You can't prove it's a ship. Another gaslighting.
My warrior's name is Stefan Siegel. So
Yeah.
Is that seagull spelled like a bird? Seagull?
100%.
Does he run around going, mine? Mine?
He does a very bird-like mien to himself.
Very good. So anything else that we'd like to...
We all need pirate names, right?
Accurate.
I'm Captain Thin Mint.
Lieutenant Bolt.
I don't know. Nix thinks that Nix is a pretty good name. Anyway, so
Like, I'm good.
yeah.
Head rower Nix. Got it. Alistair, you know how to steer, fly, ship this, right?
I've spent the last 24 hours down in the library reading about it. I'm sure it'll go fine.
Good. If needed, I can hold the book up if that is.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, do I need to process a long rest?
Oh yeah, do we?
Yeah, you can process long rest.
We hadn't slept the whole time. We were all filthy.
Oh.
All right. So, with that, you would be saying goodbye to the graveyard, the gardens, the musical theater.
Oh,
PW doesn't remember it, but the graveyard is burgled in the night.
Those are taken.
Yep, tiny mausoleum was raided.
Simple.
Cool. All right. Then everything thusly collected. Go ahead and make your way to the ship that takes off. The galleon gets more and more speed before there's a blast, and it seems to hurl itself through a small portal, and you find yourself within an endless black space, with large streams of energy that fly around, and off in the distance you see what looks like a flock of flying boars.
You know,
Goes, "Oh, we made it." I was gonna say, Kelly.
oh, I was just gonna say something about this looks awfully familiar.
Have you been to space before, Kelly? You've been holding out on us.
Not for very long, but yeah, for a while, and then we settled.
Can we see where the flying pigs went?
Yes, you can see that as you follow them, they are flying towards a large or ship with a very large cannon, and it goes, "There you go. Took that out of the fleet for you." As they kind of are flocking around. Don't worry, they can pick those off and have fresh pork. At the boars. Goes, or if you capture them, they can be good for raiding vessels. Can fly on them, make pretty good mounts.
That's good to know.
Well, not all of us have flying shoes. Let's see if I can find some rope or net.
As you begin flying, you have your crew with you that are very excited. Seeing the enormous ship.
Gonna be home for a while.
So are we off?
Yeah, I keep leaving room for y'all to RP. That's why I kind of keep pausing. But yes, so so I notice like some people are trying to say things, and feel free to respond to them when they do.
Fair enough. I've been kind of taking my time with it, just kind of learning things.
Oh, fine.
Can you, oh,
Go ahead.
no, yeah, he's not fully fleshed out, but you see Alistair is helping onto the ship what appears to be a ridiculously old turtle
Nice.
whose
Yeah.
shell is just covered in like navigation gear and trinkets and pockets and patches, and this turtle is just looking around wide-eyed. You think excited? It's really hard to tell. But this is his expert sidekick, Filbert, the turtle.
Very nice.
Hopefully we never lose Filbert. He's got all of this useful equipment on his person.
Filbert looks at PW and says, "Don't worry. It's tied on tight for me."
Did Filbert used to work at the DMV?
Suddenly I feel like I should have prepared a haste for today.
Would that help? He just moves faster, maybe not talk faster.
Could it hurt? Yeah.
He seems weirdly nimble.
You see, PW is opening a knife roll next to a nondescript humanoid with short black hair. His name is... PW waves next to him. I have hired this expert chef whose name is Stefan Siegel. Hi, everybody. Trained in 10, 15, 30 different ways of making food for all kinds of individuals. Living, unliving, undead, extraterrestrial, extra-dimensional. Just here. One more voyage before retirement.
Nyx is quietly talking to a female halfling and comparing notes on various ways to help people get through being inebriated. different mixes and teas and drinks and smacks across the head, whatever it might take to sober somebody up. And her name is Stella.
Stella.
That was the reason I gave her that name.
Like that is.
Any of you are welcome to do that, by the way.
Filbert starts to. It takes him a solid 2 minutes. To get through the name. Ron
Very good. And with that, you are shown your ship, as well as it seems like a starman. That goes right. Well, from what we can tell, you might have around 400 million miles to travel. You should get there.
400 million.
Right.
Well, I'm not worried.
How many years is this going to take?
Looks at you weirdly. Like 4 days.
Oh.
Remember, this thing goes around 4 million miles per hour.
Right.
Supposedly, I'm still trying to work out the specs. He has his scribbles down, and you see him reading it, and then he turns it upside down. Okay, that makes more sense.
Is Alistair wandering around the ship, like looking at every nook and cranny and taking notes and drawing pictures? And
it's between that and staring up at the stars with equal, or staring out into the blackness with equal parts excitement, and every now and again, like, no, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. Nope, I didn't hear that.
Indeed. You do, though, Alistair, noticeably the voices are louder.
Yeah.
Here.
Didn't think of that till after he agreed to come.
Incredibly. Like, it's more like you keep thinking someone's right next to you.
It's fine. He looks at Nyx. It's fine.
Indeed. As you... So much so that you realize this literally is the space between worlds.
Well, I'm sure there wasn't any sort of cosmic attempt to get me here for any reason. No, I'm sure we're fine. We're fine.
As PW wanders by you, you're hit with a little bit of calm emotions.
yeah,
You know, voices only win if you let them win. Or, I guess technically if they've always been winning, then they would have already won. But you know, you've got it.
does
Oh,
calm
good.
emotions work on you?
For the anxiety. The voices don't stop, but,
Okay. Nick's not really knowing any of you very well at all, is somewhat curious and looks at you and says, "What's going on with you? What happened?"
Ah,
I mean, if you're afraid to talk about it, sometimes saying it helps the fear.
no, it's the our sort of issues with memory. Some of the details are fuzzy.
Oh boy, I know about that.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain, though, that I read something I should not have. And I mean, that's actually why I can do what I can do, generally. It's not always me doing it, unfortunately. But I was simply a teacher before this, or that,
Oh.
I believe. I think.
Is there anything that at least that I should know in case of situations?
Generally speaking, whatever it is wants to keep me alive.
What about the rest of us?
Generally, it's been helpful. I mean, I've been traveling with the group for a while, and it's protected folks, and yeah, I can't really tell what it's saying. Look, this is just easier, and he will do a open a telepathic speech link to Nyx, and you'll just hear whispering in some language you don't understand.
Is it just one voice whispering, or is it lots?
No, it's like a collective. And then he just shuts it off and says, "That's pretty constant. It's a little louder now than normal, but it's pretty constant.
Wow.
I've gotten good at drowning it out."
I would imagine you have to. Are you? I mean, somebody takes over? Is that what you meant?
Sometimes when things get real bad.
Are you an observer, or are you in control at the same time?
It's hard to explain. Because I sort of still have to be the one doing it, but...
Well, I guess what I mean is, if you had to take control because whoever it is doing something you really don't want them to do, are you able to do that?
I don't know. It's never come up.
Well, I mean, I'm here if you ever need anyone to talk to. I have memory issues myself, so I get that problem.
I mean, to be fair, it's why I'm attempting to do what I do. And he pulls out the notebook that you so often see him looking at and flipping through. And he opens it, and it's pages upon pages of calculations of like just math. It's doing this, trying to figure out what it's all about.
I wonder if you read the book that you read that started all of this, would it end it? Like if you reread it, if you found that book again.
It's an interesting hypothesis. But I don't even know how to get back to that world. To be fair, I haven't even really thought about that.
I mean,
much.
Would you want it to go away? Sometimes we get used to things, and then going back seems the wrong thing to do.
In all honesty, I don't know.
And Nyx looks up at the stars and says, This is where I feel safe. I don't know
this-
why. But
a little hint, perhaps. I mean, this is amazing. All I've ever wanted to do was this. How much I know is understand how this all fits together, and traveling with all of these people, Kelly, PW, Nayland, the others, given me a opportunity to do that. There's times when it's less fun, when we are being attacked by giants or I'm being breathed on by a dragon. That's one way. I died one way to it. I died at one point to a dragon. Or it's less fun, but overall it's remarkable.
I have no idea why I'm here. I don't remember anything. I don't know why. But I just know that under the stars I feel safe. And I don't know why.
That's perhaps something to hold on to.
Definitely.
I think that we can, especially those of us dealing with our unique situation, can go a bit crazy trying to figure out why, when.
I guess I just don't, not so much that I want to know why. Well, maybe I do. I guess I just don't like feeling like I have no control. I mean, not knowing why you're in a space or how you even got there. All I know is that I was suddenly in front of a very large creature on fire trying to kill me, and I have no idea why. So if I ever seem kind of cranky, I'm sorry. Just having no anchor is hard.
I do understand, and no, you do not need to apologize. That's a frustration I'm sure we've all dealt with, and I certainly know a thing or two about not always being in control.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we are on a ship about to travel in between worlds. I couldn't have imagined that. Formerly, at least. And for all the things going on in my head and everything else, we are all of the, let's face it, danger that our captain friend was most likely lowballing. when
Definitely.
describing situations to us. I mean, this is a remarkable thing. Who knows when we'll have the chance to do it again. So,
Well, that might be the only reason to move forward. When you have no other reason. Why not? Right?
indeed.
I'm gonna go see if this seagull person can make tea. You want any?
Oh, that would be nice.
All right. And Nix goes wandering off in search of tea.
I think Kelly would have taken that opportunity to look in on PW because she's still a little curious about what's happened to him. Where would she find him?
PW would be practicing loading the cannon.
Yeah, so she'll kind of she watches for a minute, almost like sad, but then she'll kind of walk over PW?
Yes, Scout Kelly here.
Hey, I know I've been away for a while, but when I was last here, I guess it was another a variation of you that was here. Do you know what
Oh.
happened to them?
Was it the quiet one, or the big one, or the I play instruments one?
It was the wise one. The always had he was a man of few words, but he always said the right thing at the right time.
Ugh, yes, the quiet one.
The quiet one. What happened to him?
He's in there screaming or whatever.
Screaming.
Yeah, something like listen to me, something like don't do this, you know, all the usual things from him.
How did he die?
You know, I think he would say that everyone else was a little bit too slow. But I think the truth is everyone else was a little too slow. But you know, he did his best. His best just wasn't very good.
I'm sure it was more than adequate.
I had his moments.
So tell me about yourself. I'm kind of interested in getting to know you, the new you.
Oh, of course. Well, I'm Perilous Weaver. I'm not like the other ones. I'm a little bit more of an accident.
An accident.
Yes. The other ones were a little more planned on purpose, but you know, this one's a make do.
Actually, I think I know exactly what you mean. But
Yes, I suspect you might.
I don't know if I'd say accident, but I think you, as the old PW would say, he'd probably say that you were the right PW, the right time. But he'd probably say it in fewer words.
Well, I'd like to think of myself as the wrong PW all the time, but you know, can strive to make improvements. Try to be the right PW sometimes, maybe, probably not.
Well, I can tell that you're good.
Oh, you can.
Yeah. I watched
Keen
you
senses on this one.
when we fought Rivskara. You swept in and really turned the tide of the battle.
Yes, that's true. My magic was quite powerful. And also, I brought that lizard.
What I'm getting at is that you really saved the Outlands.
Yes, you don't have to rub it in.
Insight
No.
check.
Insight check in this, you would see that this PW is genuinely upset that his wand shot gems when he used it. He was hoping for something far more explosive and exciting.
You know, I think there's a way to use your love of explosions for good.
I mean, I've always felt this way.
What I'm getting at is that I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here too, Kelly.
Insight check.
PW is glad you're here.
Oh, I rolled a nat 20 too.
Yeah, PW genuinely is glad you are here because you are another layer between him and the people who would potentially attempt to, attack the party. So he is quite literally happy you are here.
Well, if you ever want to learn how to play Jenga, just let me know, and I'll teach you. The other PW enjoyed it.
Jenga. Ooh, well, what are the stakes?
Oh no, they're logs. They're like blocks. They're like they're not sharp.
Oh. Well, we'll have to try it out. I think the new rabbit nicks. I feel like they might be quite good at Jenga.
Great, I'll set up a Jenga party for everyone.
This is a good start.
Excuse me.
Although Tamagotchi can only use claws.
Anyway, thanks for talking to me, PW.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Now, again, with your back, push that 14-ton ball in my direction, and then I'll catch it here, and then we pivot right into the breach face.
Oh, okay.
Very good. Anything else?
So how do we get this party started?
All right. It says, well, one of you just goes ahead and sits in the chair up there.
I run for it.
I step out of the way.
Right. It does take about. Do you have the spellcasting feature, Kelly?
I have spellcasting, yes.
Okay. So you are able to take an hour to attune. And
wow.
so it does take an hour to fully attune in order to be able to use this. However, one of the features of it is you can use an action to attune it to another creature.
Okay.
So you're able to shift really quickly, but it does take somebody actively attuned to use that ability.
PW would take that hour to just scribble on the first cannonball, to whom it may concern.
All right. You see, the first thing is going to be as they get on their own ship, you're going to navigate past this particular. You can see large asteroids and rocks kind of all around here. Goes this area which you can safely get to the Outlands. It's protected. It's hard to get through. And well, be ready to defend yourselves through it. And good luck.
We don't need luck. We've got luck on our side.
He's talking to PW's back as PW's sprinting towards the cannonballs. It's, gonna be ready!
So I just mash this button.
We'll
You
sit there for an hour.
Kelly just has to think.
Oh boy. Don't take longer than an hour. All right.
Yeah, is Kelly at disadvantage because of inebriation?
Goes lazily to the left. And you set off. You can see beautiful things. The herd of boar seem to go along on the ship before they break off as you enter the belt. And even in the distance, somewhere you can hear what sounds like the call of whales throughout this three-dimensional space. Alistair, you observe that this ship seems to generate a gravity plane that moves through it, so it sits upon it. And thusly, even as the boar were flying around, occasionally it seemed like they would land in nothingness and be able to walk upon it. It also generates a sphere of breathable air. Getting about 20 feet away from the ship would cause you to suffocate.
Alistair will inform everybody to not attempt to not fall or move 20 feet away from the ship.
Noted.
Yep.
All of you also figure out that you, upon thinking, can move yourself independently. If you would get beyond the 20-foot gravity plane. So if you kind of jump out the ship, you actually land kind of hard on the plane of gravity it generates, because that's what's pulling you down. If you kind of climb below it and are still within the 20 feet, you're pulled up really hard and land on the other side of the gravity plane. But if you get outside of that, you can move at your speed equal to your intelligence through space.
See, Alistair is taking out all sorts of things. He's got little pieces of chalk and paper and just random stuff, and he is doing so many little experiments to figure out, like, he's figuring out where the 20 feet are, how all this works. He's just doing basically like little high school science experiments.
Nix comes up and hands you the cup of tea. This is interesting.
Thank you. Yes.
It's hot. Don't drink it all at once.
And he starts to drink.
Well, I guess that's a science experiment on its own.
Refreshing. So you can still burn your tongue in space. Good to know. Good to know.
While piloting the ship, do I have to be within range of it? Like, I mean, in range of the controls?
You have to sit on the chair.
You have to actually be okay, cool.
Yeah, so this is like almost like a throne, and you put your hands on it,
yeah,
and then as you sit there, you're able just to think the ship through. You also vaguely sense, you feel Alistair writing, and you can hear everybody.
Ooh,
You have senses all over the ship while in the
I
chair.
have too much power.
It's kind of like a throne. It's not a throne.
You can hear PW whispering sweet nothings to the cannon, like on
You
strongest fighter in all the galaxy will show them.
you can hear Alistair saying to Nix, he's got his abacus out and his navigator tools, and it's like, yes, we're listing ever so slightly to the left. I think most of the alcohol has worked its way through her system, but we should
Begin to move
probably
to the right.
mind.
Good to know.
Ship.
I don't know how worried we should be about PW. You're more used to him than I am. Is this is normal?
For this one,
Anybody should like a piece of metal that much.
For this one, I think yes. This is the first time I had met this particular PW.
What was he like before?
The first one I met was much more. What's the proper word? Ironic. Sort of quiet, little sneaky, very good with blades that he made with his mind.
Just between you and me, he scares me. I mean, like, really. Like, I've seen constructs before, but this... I'm just wondering if I should be watching my back. Like, how much can I trust him?
I mean, I feel like in our situation, there are no absolutes, but as a group, those of us who are glitches, as we've been called, we have something that binds us. And we've had arguments. I know that there's been arguments and disagreements, but
None of you have ever tried to kill each other?
no,
Well, that's something.
we always pull together, and I know that I can tell you that even other versions of myself who
On who?
I'm inciting everything.
Allegedly.
Ship? You're inciting the ship?
you can insight Alistair. Like, it doesn't take much. He is not. Alistair is very forthright in all of this. He 100% believes what he's saying. There is, even when there has been disagreements, arguments, perhaps even hurt feelings between previous versions of myself and others, I know those versions of myself were quite sad when something happened to the person they were upset with. So, for what that's worth. But again, we're in the plains. No absolutes. Or everything is absolute, if you believe in it. I'm still getting my head around this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Belief can do a lot of things out here.
Hey,
I mean-
if you drop two different weighted objects on this ship, will they fall at the same rate, or...
Within the gravitational pull, yes, I've been trying to figure out what exactly kind of we can breathe, so there is some kind of atmosphere. So you have he literally has a feather and a rock. And he's like, it's not like a vacuum. They don't fall at the same rate. There's still something causing the both my hands on screen. Something causing the feather to incite drag as it's attempting to fall through, whereas the rock does not. So there's something akin to an atmosphere. I'm really not sure. He just starts babbling at you.
Yeah.
Nyx realized that Nyx had been asking a lot of really painfully deep questions and figured, you know what? Time to throw him off.
Kelly, like, you hear in the distance a young girl scream, "Shut up!"
If
Well,
a
no,
hatch
wait,
could be
wait.
opened, yeah.
I understood that voice. Wait a minute. Not like the others.
Yeah, that wasn't
Normally-
it. I heard it too.
You see, there's a rather large asteroid looking like it's going to be in contact with the ship. Kelly, go ahead and give me. This would be acrobatics, but using your intelligence score.
Okay. All right. Intelligence. Oh, but I am proficient. That's good. Ooh, 22.
Okay.
Nyx, look. Do you think that we'll avoid that?
So you see the ship awkwardly move, and it scrapes it just a little bit. And that is when you see off the sides of it there's these tiny explosions as these strange purple skinned spiders leap out.
I don't like spiders.
Oh, yuck.
I told you we should have shot it with the cannon.
Doo, doo.
Oh,
And
How big
we are in the maps of this character sheet.
Ooh.
So if you remember on your character sheet, there is a little play button that says like play and or launch is what it says. And
I like. Nice.
you can roll initiative these days, I believe.
You can or you cannot?
Can. Should load.
Well, I rolled a natural 20, so hopefully that comes through.
I see yours.
Just
Alistair, I have rolled my typical initiative. I will be going last.
So Matt, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I rolled a 13, which is initiative plus 5 bonus. But in my features and traits as a Harengon, I add my proficiency bonus to that.
Okay, what should you get?
It says you can add your proficiency bonus to your initiative roll.
I was asking your total.
Oh, the original total was 13, but with the proficiency at 17.
Perfect.
So I just wanted to
I will-
know that's why it's different than what it
Yep.
says.
I believe y'all when you do things, so it's all good.
I don't know why it doesn't add that, but whatever.
I don't know why the polar bear always comes out this big.
Because he's a large creature.
Oh, he is? Oh, yuck.
Oh, you a little. I thought you were right in the middle of the cannon, PW.
Yeah, I wherever the how does it actuate? Is there like a panel that actuates it, or is it like on the cannon itself?
Oh, to actually fire it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you'd be more like on the ground in front of it then.
Okay, so that's where I would be.
Okay.
If the polar bear is that big, how big are these spider things?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
They're as big as the polar bear.
Why?
Alistair looks up as this thing lands right in front of him and just goes, exciting.
Nyx just starts screaming and ducks behind Alistair.
All right, I just want to check in. Are these okay?
Yeah,
Those
they're
monsters.
fine. As long as there's no more like visible graphics that I have to look at and creep me out.
No, I will keep my description
Theater of the
tame
mind is-
as well.
Yeah, theater of the mind's fine.
It's always good for me to know with that. I'll
Yeah.
keep it a little bit tamer.
Alistair looks at Nyx cowering behind him and goes, oh, that's not the place you want to hide.
Well, I definitely don't want to be in front of you.
Fair.
All right. So with that, feel free to take your moves. So I will call the initiative. Because we start with PW, I believe. Yes.
Clarification: the folks that we made are those our red shirts, or those are people who are here on the ship as well, or are they out of combat stuff? They're not eligible
So,
for things.
as long as you're on the ship, you can use them if you so desire, but they can also be killed. So I will not have a creature attack them if they're not being used. But if they are, then they can get eaten.
Are they on our initiative if they do fight?
They would be on your initiative, yeah. Just 'cause it's easier.
Can they come in later?
Yes.
Okay, because Stefan would 100% participate, but not immediately because he's making lunch or whatever.
And I'm going to say Stella is down helping him.
Very good. So, Perilous, go ahead.
Do they say anything when they land, or they just land and they're just like starting to eat stuff?
They don't seem to have a language. They look out. They literally seem to be asteroid on the outside, and then like it's just their underside. That's this purple mass of flesh, and then they've got their jaws. These are wormhole spiderlings. So,
Perhaps with some adjustments, one could be made to fit inside the cannon. Well, until Stefan gets here, I'll need some help. And clang clang as he slaps his hands together and burns his big spell slots to summon a friend. We do summon aberration, and I would like for it to be. Yeah, the Star Spawn.
okay.
So a split will open up in the fabric of reality, and out will step a semi-horrifying eldritch being who waves politely at Alistair. Like work colleagues.
Alistair's like, don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact.
I said, not while I'm not in the office.
Are the squares on the map 5 feet or 10 feet?
5 feet.
Okay.
So I'll have him pop in next to me here. And PW will... Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna... That would be my action, so my bonus action, I will burn a point. I freshly regenerated them. Quicken a spell, or, yeah, quicken a spell.
So what did you summon?
The Star Spawn.
Okay.
It's the one with the whispering aura.
Just give you this one for now.
That works and is horrifying.
Jeez.
Pops in right here, jittering away. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I won't do that other thing. That will be the action. So then, yeah, bonus action. I don't think I have. Oh wait, no. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I will quicken spell and I will hex the wormhole spiderling that is directly in front of me.
You got it.
I will end my turn there. Well, not before saying, you stay away from my cannon.
It is successfully hexed, as we'll go to Kelly.
All right. I understand what I'm reading. So I can get out of the chair. It just means that I'm not, that we're standing still. Is that how it works?
Yeah, like your whatever momentum you had would go forward. So
Does that mean if I got out of the seat, everybody's going to fly some direction?
no,
Oh, okay. Okay.
no, you're fine not being in the seat.
Okay. So, and looking at the map here, is it that I have to go down these stairs to go to the other place, or do I go forward and then I'm downstairs?
So you would jump down if you go forward.
Okay.
If you don't want to jump, then you can use the stairs.
All right. So I do have a shot at them if I wanted to try to do this ranged. If I just move up to the balcony there. Is
Yes.
that correct? All right. So I'll, let's see. I will go 5.
Yeah. If you look at the ship at the bottom, you can get a good idea of what you're looking at.
Okay.
Well, there's the side.
Oh. Okay.
So you're up where the mast is, basically.
Okay.
And then you can look down and fire at
Okay.
these things.
15, 20. So yeah. So Kelly from this vantage is going to use her heavy crossbow, and she's going to aim it at. Go ahead and shoot at the one. Yeah, the one that I guess Perilous Weaver was attacking. And that is a 26 to hit.
That hits.
All right. Does 18 piercing, and
Is that magical?
yes, it is.
Okay, very nice.
And I'm looking at it. If I pushed it, it's not going to do anything, right? It's just going to, like, because I can push it 10 feet with this weapon.
Yeah. So see here. I mean, it would move. I mean, you can see what happens.
All right. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Let's push it 10 feet.
Okay, very good. So, and as you do, you see that it kind of it hovers, seeming to be able to generate its own gravity plane.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So second shot will be at the same one this time. All right. That's 18 to hit.
That hits.
And that one's going to do an additional 20 piercing. And bonus action, I'm going to command Polar Bear. Command Polar Bear to go downstairs. So he's going to, let's see, he goes 5, 10, and then he is, let's see here. I think here? Or is it?
I think from those stairs, you're going to be in the upper room.
Which one?
Actually, let me see where you're going to be here. Yeah, I think where you had him is good. Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 10, 15, 20. I don't know how this works. It says 25, 30, then 35. Is that correct? I'm not used to moving large creatures.
Looks good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now he is going to go ahead and attack. So he takes his swipe, and it is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
And that will do 13 slashing.
All right.
Was
Does he do magical?
let me see. Let me see what I think he does, but I want to. Yeah, well, I think I do action. Level 10, I think. I was not prepared for that question.
Probably at this level. We'll just kind of want to keep it on the hold
Okay.
him too much.
All right. So in that case, he when he does that, it would be an additional. I had this right in front of me just a second ago. Okay. So he will, I believe, yes. Here he goes. The beast moves at least 20 feet straight forward the target. Before the hit, the target takes an additional 1d6 of the same type and has the prone condition if it's larger or
Nice.
smaller. So that's an additional 2 slashing and prone.
Very good. As it knocks it down.
All right, and there, yeah, that's all. We're good.
Nyx.
I am going to cast Bless on myself, Alistair, and Hairless Weaver. And then I will use a Sacred Flame on the prone creature right in front of me. Where's the... There we go. That's a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Target must succeed on a Dex saving throw. Does he do that if he's prone?
He still gets to do it. Yes.
It's a Dex 16.
17.
Ah. Okay. It doesn't say whether he takes half damage, so I'm assuming he doesn't.
What did you use?
Sacred Flame.
Yeah, that'd be no damage when it misses.
I think that's all I can do, right? Spell on a cantrip.
Yep. Now you can be any distance when you cast that, so it's up to you.
No, I'll stay here with Alistair.
Okay. So now this one rises up and is going to go and attack Tamagotchi. Here as actually, let's see here. Now that I think about it, I might do something a little different. Let's see what we can do. Perfect. It's going to go ahead and let me see.
By the way, Matt, I'm sharing. I just realized I'm sharing the screen. If you want to.
Okay.
Forgot to do that earlier.
Okay. Yep. Goes ahead and spews this caustic substance towards Alistair and Nyx. As it seems like it's almost like a sticky webbing that comes out. And I need con saves.
Does this count as a spell?
It does not.
Okay.
But you do get bless.
Right. That's a D4, right?
Yes.
Should be.
What? 19.
Okay, 19 passes. Looks like Nyx got very low, yeah?
I got a 10.
Yep. So it would fail.
Okay, is this because I have to maintain concentration for blast? Do I roll again?
So to maintain concentration, that would be against the damage here, which is 21 acid.
Okay.
So you need to get a 10 or higher on your Constitution saving throw. You get to use bless for that, technically.
Yeah, and I get advantage on it too.
And that is just 10 acid towards Alistair.
15, so 15 plus
So you're good.
17.
All right. And so the webs do this acid and wrap around Nyx, and Nyx is restrained within the webs.
Okay.
Also, Alistair reaction absorbs elements,
Nice.
so it'll be 5 damage.
Matt, I gotta go run and get a charger real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. In that case, this one is going to go ahead and attack Alistair. And first, it's going to come down for its bite. So, yep, that is a 27 to hit.
That'll hit.
And it takes a second bite for a natural 1. Okay, so when it bites, that is going to be 14 piercing damage.
Yep.
As well as 9 acid damage.
Okay.
Comes down, the saliva begins to eat away at your skin.
The webbing was also acid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll just be only 4 because I'm still resistant from the absorb elements.
Indeed. This one that's floating looks up, sees Kelly, and is going to go ahead. You feel gravity shift around you, Kelly.
Okay.
As it's seeming like it's trying to manipulate your personal gravity field. And I need a con save.
All right. Oh, nat 1.
Okay.
Crap.
That you find yourself pushed and slammed against the back wall. That's going to be 26 bludgeoning damage. Get your head hard. That's its bonus action. And then it's able to float itself over to PW. Wasted attacks here. So first bite. Is it 23 to hit?
Shield.
Nice. So both misses are just drooling all over your arcane barrier.
Really wish we had shot that meteor.
That this final one moves to a little better position and is going to go ahead and attack the star spawn. That is a 21 to hit. And a natural
That
20.
As I say, definitely hits and definitely hits.
Very good. So that is 38 bludgeoning damage.
For both attacks? Or
Piercing for both.
Okay.
And
You
a
see
total
the
of 23 acid.
23 and 37?
Yes.
Alright, the star spawn melts
Nice.
away into nothing and lets out an ear-piercing scream that also sounds like the laughter of children.
That's horrible. That's going to move the rest of the way here to Perilous. It roars. And Alistair.
Alistair, his hands go up when the acid gets on him and the absorb elements happens. Again, looking very shocked and panicked like he always does when a fight breaks out. And then there's a pause and his eyes glow briefly. And his whole body kind of stands up straight. And the first thing that happens is bonus action. So I've forgotten before that he gets this. Now, let me find it. There it is. Bonus action, innate sorcery. So he's going to basically get a boost to his spell DCs and spell attacks for a minute. And then what you think is still Alistair looks at you, Nyx. And mostly in Alistair's voice, but it's got a different timbre. And it just says, you're not sure if it's speaking your language, but you understand what it's saying, as it just says, we protect this body and those that also protect this body. And there's a flash and almost sounds like white noise fills the area, and he casts synaptic static on these two in front of him, but he's going to use a sorcery point for careful casting, so it will not affect the polar bear or Nyx. It'll just affect the two spider legs or wormhole things.
Nyx lays his ears flat back as much as possible because that noise is a lot.
So it's just these two that are by you?
Just the two that are by me. So that is a DC 18 intelligence save.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, first one looks like it fails.
Cool.
17. And second one. Also fails.
Okay. So he's also going to use a sorcery point because I rolled terribly on that damage to empower the spell and re-roll 4 of those. That is much better. 12, 16, 20, 25. That's actually not making much. Oh, there it is. Okay. 30. So that's going to be 32 psychic damage
Woo.
to them. And being synaptic static, for 1 minute, they're basically baned. And they have to subtract 1d6 from every roll.
Okay. All right. The one that was prone before is definitely bloodied as this weird green substance drips out of them. Is that it?
Yeah, I missed. Did they both fail or only one of them failed?
They both failed.
Both failed. Do you want me to roll the 1d6 or do you want to roll the 1d6?
I'll probably just roll it when they go.
Okay.
And then Perilous.
As you watch, the star spawn has acid vomited over it and then is bit in half right in front of PW after he welcomed him into this universe. And PW yells out, "Barbara, no! How could you? You know, you were lucky. For as long as she was here, I couldn't do this." And his green eye sprays out what looks like gas, but then realize it's following a pattern. It's actually light that's coming out. It's just weird, gross, goopy light as it casts sickening radiance.
Ooh.
Nice.
At point blank distance.
Just to one of them or both?
It gets the both of them.
Nice.
So it's a DC 17 Constitution.
Right. So it looks like our pink friend does not make it. And let's see how the other one does.
Ooh. Takes 30 radiant damage.
21 for the other one.
He only takes half.
You said 31 radiant?
Yep. 30.
Did you use your bless?
I did not use the bless. Does bless account for damage?
No.
Oh, it's just saves.
I was gonna say, I think it's bardic inspirations that do, but not bless.
Yeah, so 15 on the other one. This one was barely hanging on. Pink one.
Oh, and the one who failed also suffers 1 level of exhaustion if it is possible for it to do so.
It is it? It's
They
very
also
tired.
emit greenish light in a 5-foot radius around themselves, making it impossible for them to benefit from being invisible.
Nice.
Hey Matt, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'm hearing you like echoing right now.
Yeah, someone has their mic kind of loud. It might have been Perilous. All right. Anything else from Perilous?
Yes. Bonus action, I teleport 30 feet away from the nasty, glowing mouth.
Okay. So light goes out, horribly affecting them. The rocks are changing, pieces of it being thrown out as you whoop away. Then we'll go to Kelly.
Kelly will go and stand up for 20 feet.
Yes.
And she's going to move up again. 5, 10, 15, 20. And she's going to, this time, shoot at... She's going to shoot at the one next to Tamagotchi.
Nice.
Am I flanking? Does that help?
Not
all
for
range.
yeah.
Oh, nat 1. Let me ask you a question. Are they still wrapped up in some kind of webbing?
Yes.
Nixes, yeah.
All right. Does it look like I don't know how to ask this questions without sounding weird, but does it look like this is the type of webbing that could be like cut open, or more like
Yeah, it could be like pulled off.
all right.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to sacrifice one of my attacks to give my Tamagotchi 2, and Tamagotchi is going to try to tear off the webbing from Nyx using their slash. That's a 28 to
Very
hit the
nice.
webbing.
Yeah.
And that would do 15 damage, slashing damage on the webbing.
Sure, with that, those webbings tore off.
All right. And does it look like it's also on Alistair?
No, Alistair avoided it.
All right. And does it look like it's on Perilous?
No.
Okay, good. So Tamagotchi will use their last attack against the bad guy here in front of him. And that is a 13.
Oh, that just strikes hard against the stone skin.
All right, so they will use their bonus action to give the help action to, I guess, Nyx. Yeah, that'll be my turn.
All right. Nyx.
Okay, well, it changes a little bit of what I was going to do. Thank you, Tamagotchi. And I just nudge him slightly since he's right next to me. And then I'm going to take a swipe at the guy in front of me with my blade.
With advantage.
With advantage.
Yeah, I gave you help.
Yes. Yeah, how do I do that here? There we go. Okay. So that is going to be. That's a good thing. That's. Oh nope. That's Oh, that's a 7. That's a total of 13 to hit.
Oh no! As
Is that with blessed?
Oh, do I add bless to that?
For your attack.
You are blessed, yeah.
Yeah. What did I say? 13. That's 15.
Ooh, that just scratches the surface and does not go into the skin.
What gun it? Okay. Then for my bonus action, let's see, that's concentration. No, I can't use that. I will. Oh, do I want to stay right here? I don't know if I want to stay right here. I will cast Healing Word on myself as my bonus action. For 3 points. Yay. Oh, 7 points. I can't keep reading that die wrong. Yeah, for 7 points. And that's it.
Very good. In that case, this one is going to look, and the gray one here by Polar Bear. And Kelly, again, you feel gravity shifting under you.
Oh, no. All right. Another con save.
Yes.
All right. 10.
Not so much. And
With the D4 for bless.
I don't have that.
Oh no.
indeed. So this time it grabs you and is going to throw you
Oh.
right into the mess.
Oh no.
Here.
Oh, hi.
Not where I want to be.
Oh, hello, Kelly.
Hi.
There's going to be a total of 26 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And then it does need to see if it recharges.
Oh, doggone it. I keep forgetting I can use... sorry. I'm not used to this. I could have used Divine Strike on that hit.
Okay, with that, it spews its acid webs once more on Nyx, Kelly, and Alistair Ward
Oh.
for con saves.
Oh no. Here we go. Ooh, nat 20. 23.
18.
Nice.
Is 5 and 8 is 13.
13 will fail as the webs wrap around Alistair. And I think that's 21 acid.
And he will absorb elements again.
Nice. And then it's 10 acid to Kelly and 10 acid to Nyx.
Oh.
Ooh, getting hurt.
Mm.
I'm bleeding.
Right. With that. There we go. Trying to find my little thing, doozy. This one. Go ahead. Yep. And the white circle there also breathes in and breathes the web over the three of you again. So another set of con saves.
Oh no. Oh, 15.
11.
That is a 24.
Okay. So then at the 15 is restrained
Yeah.
and takes 24 acid. That's just
Ow.
12 acid to the other two.
Ew.
Then I forgot to do it, but they're going to try to do it now as gravity shifts into perilous and I need a con save.
Who, me? And he makes a con save. That is a dirty 20.
You persist. And its turn as the green one now, concentrating on perilous, will make you do another con save.
Do I need to be rolling a constitution save? Or a concentration check?
Every time you take damage.
It's a 14 unless it needs to be better.
It does.
Well, then I'm going to try to make it better. I've got a d6 and a d4. I will roll both. For 6 for a dirty 20.
Okay, very good. And so this one comes a little closer and lets out its spray at Nyx, Kelly, and Alistair again.
Oh, God.
Also, you can drop bless. I lost my concentration.
Here we go. 11.
Oh, we have to do that again. I'll be good this time. 17.
That's good. And what else you got?
You got like a 12
Okay.
in the fail.
So then it's full damage for those below 15 for 20 acid.
So
Then
10.
10 acid for the success.
Oh my gosh.
Ow.
They do also roll for the sickening radiance again at the start of their turns.
Thank you. And that's just damages there to hits and stuff, right?
DC 17 wisdom, and then it's radiant damage and the levels of exhaustion
Okay.
and the glowing.
All right, so it doesn't hurt right now, but is it con save or wisdom?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it was con. Yeah, con.
Okay. So 14 and a dirty 20.
So con 17, and it is 17 radiant damage if they failed, or 7 or 8 on the half. And if they fail, another level of exhaustion, and they glow a little bit more.
Okay. In that case, what we'll do is this one perished, but this one is still around. So it will have just taken the other one's turn, since technically that would have been done. But Alistair.
Okay. Yeah, things are terrible. Checking something real quick. Where's my measuring tool?
You can save at the end of your turn against the restrained. Automatically.
I'm sorry, say what?
At the end of your turn, you can automatic save against the restrained if the web has you.
Okay. I think what he's gonna do. Yeah. It's a lot of high-level slots, but I feel like we're not looking too good, or I'm guessing the three of us sitting here on the web. Gotcha. It's going to happen again. Nyx is going to hear that white static coming in again. Even closer this time because it's actually centered on Alistair, but that'll let it catch all three of them in a synaptic static, carefully cast so that Kelly and Tamagotchi and Nyx do not suffer the effects.
Very nice. Those are intelligence saves?
Intelligence saves, and the two down near us have to take a d6 off them. Their saves.
Got it. Yep.
DC.
They will all fail.
All fail. They're all going to take 25 psychic damage.
Oh, very nice. Okay, they are all severely bloodied.
Okay. All just severely bloodied. What can I do with this?
Stone is cracked and green.
Okay. For my bonus action, we need to get rid of some of these guys. He's gonna do a quicken spell chill touch on this one right next to him.
Got it.
So, maybe something good. That is a 23 to hit.
That hits.
Cool. That is 2d10. Nice. That is 14 necrotic damage.
Ooh. Excuse me. All right. Its stone skin becomes slimy and soft as it screams.
Okay. That is what I got.
Up to Perilous.
I'm realizing I had Hex on one of those meatballs. Would they have taken that extra necrotic damage when they took the radiant hits? Or is that
Is it whenever they take damage or is it from your attacks?
I couldn't. That's a good point. Deal an extra target whenever you hit it with an attack. So that would not count.
Correct.
They're failing a save. Got it. Okay. From where I am, Peter is going to reach out, tear two little holes, fabric of the universe, and fire out three different skulls. He sacrificed one of his little floating comets to attack the two meatballs that are trying to eat the rest of the crew.
Got it.
Do three of these. First one is a 23.
That hits.
Okay, second one is 15.
That's going to miss.
Okay, and the third one is 22.
Hits.
Nice. Okay, so on the map, does it look like So I want to hit both of them.
Mhm.
So 1 hit per each, and both of my hits can move them 10 feet. And I'd like to move them 10 feet towards my sickening radiance.
Okay.
Is that possible for them to go through? Okay. So I reach out, I tear those holes, the skulls come out, they hit both of the meatballs in the back, and they shove them in the direction of the sickening radius. I say, you know, you should really join your friend. It's really a party for 3. I say, shove.
Then they still take damage, right?
When they start their turns there.
Oh, not from the beams?
The beams, yes. They also will take damage from that. First one is 10 force damage. Second one is 16 force damage.
Nice. How do you want to kill them?
Both of them?
Yep.
Both of them get shoved into the radiance, and as they approach the radiance, they just start melting before the green glow.
Yeah, they were low.
They got to spray across the last one who's left.
Yeah. I love it. And then Kelly.
All right, Kelly will. Whoop! There we go. She's going to Starlight Step out of that situation if she can. And she is going to use her attack action against the remaining one.
Nice.
19 to hit.
19 hits. Vanish and fire.
That does 20 piercing.
Nice.
And knocks them 10 feet away from me. And then I will go ahead and fire again at them. That's 21 to hit.
That hits.
All right, and that one does 14 piercing.
How do you want to kill it?
Yeah, shoot him in the face. Shoot him in the face like a skillet. So I just kind of shoot them, and just as they get their big maw open, the bolt just goes right through them and just turns them into nothing but spaghettios.
Very nice. With that, our navigation continues through these asteroids. As you do see now, some others seem to have changed course.
Okay.
They might be headed towards the ship.
Peter was going to look to Kelly. So, who is flying the ship currently?
I am, as I back up to the navigations.
So you need another hour to attune.
Oh no.
Did I just do mass healing word?
How much time do we have until the other meteors that have shifted actually reach us?
Everybody gets 11 points of healing.
Okay. Or do I need to ask the azimuth turtle?
Or everybody wants it.
You know. You think you might have about 5 minutes before a bunch of these start to make their way. But you can also take positions and you can pilot the ship without the helm, using the sails and such things.
All right, we're going old school.
So as Kelly's concentrating on trying to do this, we can do what you want to do with the ship's controls to try to avoid these. And so what we'll do is this actually is going to go ahead and use span. So these currently have a span of 3 to try to get to you. Every success increases your span distance by 2, and every failure lowers it by 1.
Ugh.
You know, it's times like these I wish that we were blessed with some sort of proficiency of some kind. PW sings to the stars.
Yeah.
But alas, we are forsaken.
Does not appear that that is available. So, who'd like to go first?
So what do we? Sorry, what do we do?
So here's what you just kind of imagine what your character might do on the ship to help it. Then we would
Okay.
do a skill check to do such a thing. So it could be, pumping some of the energy of the engines or whatnot. Because basically, it's regular propulsion and it has the helm. The helm, there are two different sets that move this thing.
Is it possible to, like, man one of the ballistas?
Indeed. And for this thing, it takes 2 actions to load the ballista fully. So you can definitely do one of those.
And the rocks that are headed towards us, are they on both sides of the ship, or are they?
They're mostly from one direction.
So which direction? I just want to know if I'm going to the port or starboard ballista.
Oh, I gotcha. So they'd be coming from in front of the ship.
Okay, so it doesn't matter which one.
Quite.
Well, I will take the starboard ballista and load it.
PW is exactly where you expect him to be, which is at the cannon.
Shocking. Truly shocking.
Very good. And then what's Alistair doing?
I think you're muted.
Alistair is on mute, unfortunately.
You're muted or your
Sorry.
mic's on.
I hit this mic has a weird touch mute thing that it does, and I accidentally hit it. So, Alistair would get Filbert to help him with his
Nice.
helpful action. And what they're going to do, you see all of a sudden Filbert moves very quickly. He talks very slowly. He moves very quickly and nimbly.
Nice.
And what they want to do, and I don't know if I don't totally understand how the ship works, but if there's a way that what they're going to be doing is trying to help steer it on a path through these asteroids that is efficient and also like kind of gets things in the way of these ones pursuing us. Sort of
Oh, okay, yeah.
If that's doable.
Absolutely. I think to do this would be you can either use intelligence or wisdom, but the proficiency here would be survival or acrobatics.
Ooh. So Alistair is okay. The idea is that it's survival or acrobatics using intelligence.
Yes.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. And then he's gonna get a D6 from the help action.
Yeah. Intelligence or wisdom. Sorry. Yes.
Oh, we're gonna use intelligence.
Got it.
So let's see what we get. Ooh, nice. That is going to be a 22 plus 5. That's a 27.
Ooh. All right. With that, you're going to get a little bit of extra span as you move the ship away, blocking some of it. And the rocks here, you see, start to shift their pattern. It's like, changing their gravitational forces, but to do so causes them a great deal of space and time. And so, Peerless, you've done one of you. It takes 4 turns to get that cannon going.
While I'm
Go ahead.
working on the cannon, Stefan is making finger foods and kebabs for folks to enjoy, and also has rejuvenating juices that folks can drink while they're at work.
Do I need to do anything, or am I just tuning? Or
You're tuning. If there's something you'd like to do, you can. You would just be. You're just in that spot.
gotcha.
So it's up to your creativity there.
I mean, Kelly, with the help of Tamagotchi, of course, would happily serenade the crew with a shanty.
Very nice. Give me a performance check.
Oh no.
May I suggest Drunken
Oh,
Sailor?
21. I got a 21 on that somehow.
Ooh.
Drunken Sailor would be an excellent shanty for you.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that one.
All right. Then with this, everyone can have a little bit of a D4 at their future checks.
Ooh, how lovely.
What would you do with a drunken Girl Scout?
Anything?
I'm going to shout, Stella! And Stella's going to come running up to the deck, and I'm going to just yell at her and say, "Can you give us some healing?" And she goes, "No problem. What kind of healing do you want?"
Like, okay, already.
So she's going to cast Mass Cure Wounds at level 5. Now, how does that work? Is it oh, the spellcaster's ability is wisdom. Is it my wisdom or
It's their wisdom. So they show a stat.
their wisdom. Their wisdom is a +4. So it's a D20 +4.
Yes.
Oh gosh, that's a terrible roll. Wait. I'm sorry, how does this work?
You have to look at Mass Cure Wounds, but I'll look it up for you.
If I look at it online at level 5, I don't have to roll a D20 for it, right?
No, I didn't. So I was a little.
Yeah, sorry. That's why I was like,
confused.
wait, what am I
It's
doing?
okay. They just get so they get 5d8 plus your the wisdom, so 4. So 5d8 plus 4.
5d8 plus 4. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. No. That's not good. No, that's 25 plus 4 is 29 points to everybody who needs healing.
Nice.
Because I really needed it. And then can I have her
How much was that?
29. Can I have her join me at the other ballista and start working on getting it ready?
Yes. So that will fully do it. So you can roll. I think it's a +6.
Sorry, what do you want me to do?
D20 plus 6 to fire the ballista.
D20 plus 6. That's a 17 plus 6, which is 23.
Yeah.
Correct?
So it fires,
23.
ooh, knocking more of them off course into each other.
Okay. Is that me firing or Stella firing?
That's all of you because it takes 2 more actions to do it.
Okay.
So it took the 2 actions to do so. Then who else?
I think that's all of us having done something. Do we do another round of it?
Yeah, because this was Nick's doing their second one.
Okay. So there's you said that there's like a propulsion system.
Yeah.
And so it's a propulsion system.
Yeah, it's really like a mast. It's the mast, and so it
okay.
does grab like astral winds.
Gotcha. Okay. Alistair wants to use. He's got the telekinetic feat. So can he use his telekinetic shove with, again, Filbert helping for direction to move the mast to try to catch a better headwind?
Absolutely.
Cool.
I think it's really a survival check. You can use your intelligence.
Okay. That is it's 22.
Very good. With that, I want to say things aim, and PW, I'm going to let you fire your cannon.
PW can barely hear or see anything in the entire universe except for this cannon and where it's aimed in this moment. Does it just make a roll? Or
Yeah, it's a plus
attack?
6 to hit with the roll.
Okay.
As a cleric, can I marry them?
Ceremony.
Oh, I wanted to be a nat 20 so bad. That's an 8 plus 6 would be a 14, but I'm going to burn. I'm going to burn one of my things. There we go for a 17.
Nice. 17. Whoom. And it rockets. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Oh gosh, what is the damage for that? Oh,
I put it in there when I.
let's see.
Ooh. While they're looking for that, Kelly's final action is to, while sitting in this chair, be reminded of being a child sitting in her father's lap while piloting a ship like this and trying to connect to that moment to remember how to try and make this go a little quicker. And maybe with Tamagotchi helping out by humming the, I don't know how polar bears hum, but by humming the buttons and how they sounded.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, it's 16d10 damage, PW.
Sweet Jiminy Crickets. Okay. Hold on. 16 d10. Ooh.
16?
It's a big cannon.
Big cannon. They're 10-ton
Imagine-
cannonballs.
I'm imagining that like blowing a hole through the whole asteroid field and just things being shunted off.
That's a 91.
Oh my gosh.
You wind up bludgeoning as it fires now, and with this, as Kelly's singing goes through the asteroid belt, it is cleared, and the alleged makes its way, clearing the belt. You
can see on the cannonball as it slides out of frame as the "To Whom It May Concern."
Yeah. As they
I
just-
rolled a history just for the heck of it, and it's a 24
Okay,
for a memory.
gotcha. As a bunch of you see all these little spider parts blow apart in the asteroid. To whom it may concern.
That may be the best way to kill spiders I've ever seen. Way more effective than burning the house down.
Now, aren't you sad we can only do that 7 more times? Now, again, with my plan, in only 7 more balls, we could completely restock ourselves.
Well, we can always stick you in there too.
I mean, I look forward to the day.
Very good. And with that, we will end for tonight. Come back for more journeying next week.
Next leans over to Stella and gives her a big fist bump.